Yo, I had some crazy audio feedback. I do apologize if you had that on your end as well. I don't know what was going on with the audio. How you all doing? I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all doing well. I'm seeing some comments I don't understand in the chat. So Dwaki, I'm not sure what you're talking about, mate. I have a T-shirt. What more? I have a T-shirt. I don't know. I don't know. See how it go. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what that means. But anyway, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. CFC Stephen, welcome. Loco Costa, audio is good. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. Stav, welcome to the stream. Yanis, I think Yanis and Stav were having an argument. Anyway, I don't know why, but I have an auto correction that every time I type in Erling, it changes it to Ealing for some reason. And sometimes I just forget to go back and fix it, but I did manage to fix it, so thanks for the heads up. It's Erling Haaland, not Ealing Haaland. I do apologize, but like I said, it's an auto correction issue. Boys, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all doing. The comment is about what? It's about the other night. It's about the other night. Yes, Stav. I remember the other night. The other night when it was really hot and you wanted to stay cool. And, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, yeah, I know you have a T-shirt. So it's all good. Bobby Smoke Signals. Hey, Mom. Our transfer action looks like... Yeah, Tom... You know what? I have a lot of thoughts about this. And we will be discussing this. Liegs, DJ Sav, welcome. Should I call you Baggy or not? Yeah, you can call me Baggy. You can call me Mo. You can call me Kasim. You can say the Blue Lounge. All options are there for you. It's 30 degrees at night. Yeah, no, it's hot in is it Cyprus you're at? Cyprus is hot. I've been there. It's humid. Really humid. Listen, boys. I've kept the link private for now. I may introduce it in the chat later on. I have sent the link to a few people, but if they don't turn up, I will open it to the masses. So if the guys who I've sent the link to don't turn up, I'll open it to the masses. Oh, here's one of the guys that I've sent the link to jumping in already, and it's Bobby. Bobby,
hey,
how are you?
How you doing, man? I'm good. Just back from work. And my man Mo's on, so I thought no chance. I got to hop onto this one.
How you been, man? It's been a couple of streams that I haven't seen you, man. You been good?
Yeah. You know, it's like that. You know, you get busy. It's getting busy for me now, so there may be the odd one that I'll have to miss. Sure. Unfortunately, this is my passion, really. But life happens, doesn't it?
Life happens, yeah. Life happens, man. I mean, you know, it's always good to have you on my streams, man. I like the perspective that you provide, and I'm sure a lot of the fans in the chat like to hear your thoughts on a lot of these topics.
Bless you, mate. I appreciate that.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, Bobby. Today's topic, as you guys can see from the thumbnail and from the title, it talks about Erling Haaland's. I don't know what's the word here. It's not. It looks like it's not happening. You know, for a number of different factors which we're going to talk about. Lukaku also. It looks like it's not happening. Again, number of factors which we're going to talk about. And then the other name that's been thrown in the hat or thrown in the mix. It's a player that a lot of people are talking highly of. But to be honest, I've done a little bit of research on him. And it's too early for us to be talking about him being, our number one. And the person I'm talking about is the Serbian striker from Fiorentina, Dusan Vlahojevic. And I hope I pronounced his name right. Because, yes, he's had a good season this season. But that is it. His performances prior to this season have been sporadic at best. The lad is young and he's had a good breakout season this season. But can we really put all our ambitions and hopes on him? Is he the striker for Chelsea should we not secure Erling Haaland and Lukaku? Is Erling Haaland and Lukaku dead in the water? Or is there still life in the pursuit of one of these strikers? In regards to the bid that was apparently tabled and rejected by both Lukaku and Inter Milan, and the fact that Chelsea may be looking to bid again for Lukaku, is that accurate? Because we talked about this in the last stream and we all came to the conclusion it was fake news. Well, there's a couple of tweets I want to discuss. I want to show you about both Erling Haaland and Lukaku. And I want to discuss this the striker, Dusan Vlahovic. And that's really what we're going to be talking about in this video. And I'm also going to be giving you a point of view in respect to my thoughts on why all of this is happening and really what we can expect. I know a lot of you talk blue. I'm not going to say he's bad. I'm not going to say he's nothing special, in my opinion. And I have to say, my insight to this player is limited. I don't know a lot about him, but from what I've seen and from what I've read, I might be unfair, and I might be wrong in my judgment of this guy. But we'll see. Bobby, before we start talking, I'm going to give it a couple of minutes for the lads to jump in. Should anybody else wants to jump in? Couch Critic, how are ya? And if you can come on, you DJ Sav, it would be good. What's Sadwaki saying? Mo, do you read if the Coleman would send his son? Nah, I don't. And that's what we're talking about. That's what we're going to be talking about. Couch Critic is in the house. Couch Critic, how are you, my man?
What's going on, fellas?
We're good. Thanks for joining. Oh,
for sure. Anytime, man. If I'm available, I'm going to be here, man.
Yeah, man. Sweet. I'm going to be giving you some close-up shots today, Couch, because I'm going to use this video for my intro. So I'm going to get some close-ups of you, whoever.
Make sure I wear the shirt.
Yeah. Believe that. Yeah. Big up. That's an important topic, and that is a topic that is not talked about enough, to be honest. And I think we need to emphasize a lot more on getting racism out of football and out of society as a whole. So definitely a topic that we need to be addressing more in the future. Definitely. Listen, I wanna look at two tweets. And we'll discuss each one. The first one I want to look at. And by the way, lads, these tweets came out earlier this morning. But they are still relevant. And the first one here talks a little bit about Erling Haaland. And it's from Simon Phillips. And Simon Phillips is saying, I expect Erling Haaland's future to be sorted out in the next 7 to 10 days. A madman, as Dortmund advisor says, needs to put up 175 million for him. All right, so a madman needs to put up 175 million for him. Team Haaland will not push for a move, but I think he will be perfect for Chelsea this summer. And this statement from Simon Phillips is reported from Jan Arg Foytov and ESPN per the other night. So that's where we are in respect to Erling Haaland, and that hasn't changed. Now, the second tweet I want to look at. Is again by Simon Phillips, and he's saying this. Chelsea have no intention of giving up on Romelu Lukaku despite him turning down their initial offer. All right, so he's saying that Romelu Lukaku turned down an initial offer from Chelsea. Chelsea will make a higher wage offer. Chelsea will make a higher wage offer to Lukaku and are willing to pay up to 120 million euros for him. Okay, Tutu Marcoto Web. That's where that's coming from. All right. Now, 120 million euros is less than what we were talking about yesterday. Was it yesterday we were talking about this? Because we were talking about 110 million pounds. That was Chelsea's initial offer. So it looks like, looking at that, it looks like Chelsea are still keen on signing Romelu Lukaku. And it looks like Chelsea are still keen. And by the way, there was some other tweets that Bobby alluded to regarding... sorry, not Bobby. What was it? Sudwaki, I think. Was it Sudwaki in the chat? Yeah, Sudwaki alluded to, saying, do you really think Roman would send his son? Because there was a lot of tweeting yesterday and some this morning talking about Romelu Lukaku... Roman Abramovic sending his son to close his deal for Erling Haaland.
That's bullshit.
That's never going to be the case because he employs a hell of a lot of people to deal with this kind of thing. Why would he send his son, a person who has no experience in this type of work, to go and do this? If he wants to add a personal touch, he'd make a phone call if you want to
get on your yacht, man. Get him on your yacht. But it's not. You don't send your son to go do the job of a man. You know what I mean? Come on now. This is a big, big, big club. That's when I heard that. As soon as I heard his son was involved, I was like, this is bullshit. His son's in Milan, so he's talking to Romelu Lukaku about, about trying to join the club. If you were Romelu Lukaku and Roman sent his son to go talk to you, what would you do? I'd be saying yo, man, I'm not really ready to join a club where he's sending his kid to come talk to me. That doesn't seem serious. So I dismiss that. I dismiss a lot of the stuff that we've been seeing the last little while, to be honest. But that's me. That's me. Straight goods,
Yeah. Before we talk about all of these topics, because we are going to dive into all of these, I want to just to show you these bits of information to have it as a benchmark for the debate moving forward. Now, also Simon Phillips, I think, talked about. I can't remember if it was a tweet or if it was somewhere else that I saw it. But Simon Phillips also talked about a player that could be the next option for Chelsea. Should we not go, or should we not get Erling Haaland or Romelu Lukaku? And that player is this dude. Okay, Dusan Vlahojevic. This guy, he's 21 years old. He's born in Belgrade, Serbia. He's a lanky dude. He's 1.9 meters tall. He's a centre forward. He's had 7 caps for Serbia. He's got 2 goals. And is valued at £36 million as per transfermarket.co.uk. Now, we're talking about him and his goal tally. Everyone is saying this guy, he banged in, what was it, 21 goals from 37 appearances this season. 2 assists. Good numbers. He played 3 times in the Italian Cup, didn't score anything. He's got 21 goals in 37 fixtures. Right, this season. What did he do last season? He scored 6 goals from 30 appearances in the Serie A. He scored 2 goals from 4 in the cup, and he also had 1 game, I think, in his previous club, because this is when he joined Fiorentina. So in his first season, he got 6 goals from 30. or you can say 8 goals from 34 in all competitions with 2 assists. Now, 8 goals from 34 matches is not a prolific scorer. First season. And that is it for him in regards to the Serie A, because prior to that, I think he was playing... Well, he had 10 games. He had 10 games in the season. Prior to that, he didn't score any goals in the Serie A. But he did score 11 and 13 in... I think that's where he was in Serbia. So he did bits in Serbia. So this is what we know about the alternative to Erling Haaland or Romelu Lukaku. This is the player that we're looking at. He's a striker. For me, he doesn't look much better than Tammy Abraham. He doesn't look much better than any of the strikers that are in the Premier League that we're looking at, the Ings and the Calvert-Lewin, and the second tier. So I've given you what is on the table in respect to who's coming, who's going, and what people are saying. I want to know from Bobby and from Couch Critic, do you guys believe that this whole scenario is a game of mirrors? Is what's happening with Lukaku just smokescreen to put pressure on Dortmund to actually be a little bit more flexible and accept the offer that Chelsea are tabling? Because I believe Chelsea are tabling an offer, and I think there is some resistance to that offer, and that is why we're seeing this movement in regards to Lukaku, because I don't think there's any smoke without fire. And the fire is what's happening with Erling Haaland, and the smoke is what's happening with Lukaku, because Lukaku, his situation is being brought in because we're seeing the Erling Haaland deal going sour. And maybe Lukaku is being used to put pressure on Dortmund to go ahead and make the sale, because Dortmund might be playing a game with Chelsea whereby we want more than what Chelsea are offering. And Chelsea are looking at this offer as being what the best they can do, and they're prepared to leave Erling Haaland and go for Lukaku. But if they're prepared to leave Erling Haaland and go for Lukaku, and they're prepared to offer 120 million for Lukaku, what are they offering for Haaland? How much more are they offering for Haaland, and it's been refused? Because if they're going to pay 120 million for Lukaku, I'm pretty sure that they've paid a hell of a lot more than that to land Erling Haaland. But if Erling Haaland, his I'm not going to say his camp, because it's not really in his hands, but if his team are refusing, then they're refusing something of that nature. So, Bobby, Couch Critic, give me your thoughts.
Bobby, ring in, man. I'd love to hear what you have to say about this.
Yeah, I was listening with keen interest, and what seems to be, I've been quite fed up with this sort of Haaland situation, but what seems to be coming across to me quite clearly is that nobody, absolutely nobody but those involved, has a Scooby-Doo as to what's going on, and neither will they till probably the transfer window is closed. My concern about this is for Chelsea as a football club. The options are limited in terms of world-class marquee strikers. They're limited to this one person. That's just the lay of the land in this particular season. And in a season with which Chelsea have options, well, basically 2 options. Either to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, or to just take victory with both hands. We are in a unique position. We've had a couple of shots at this. When Roman first came, we took it fairly well, at least on the domestic stage when he first came, but we didn't really initially take it on the European stage until 2012, and then we blew it on the world stage in the World Club Cup with Benitez and all the shenanigans that went on then. This is our stage now. Greatness doesn't come easily, and you have to make the right moves to achieve greatness. Chelsea, to cement their legacy at the top table of European and world football, indeed, have to get this guy, Erling Haaland. That's the simple truth. Yes, he costs monster money. £150 million is a heck of a lot of money. But I think we have passed, if it's true that we are still considering and posturing and all that, I think we've passed that. I think in reality, if there'd been any sort of planning, we would have passed that stage as well. This has gone beyond pretense now. This is big boy stuff, and you've got to hit the mark. 150 million, go for it, or suffer the consequences. That's where we are. If we don't get this guy, look at what Man City have done now. They are close to getting Grealish. I believe they will get him, and I believe they will move for Harry Kane. That squad will be formidable. Man United is already formidable. Don't you ever also discount Liverpool. They have a good squad and returning strong defenders. Other clubs may not appear to be doing much, but those that are more or less the also-rans, as you may call them, have already strengthened, the likes of Leicester and so on. We can't blow this. If we want to delude ourselves into thinking because we have won the Champions League, our squad as it stands is ready to rule the world, then our fans are going to have a very shocking season. A season full of, turmoils. Yes, we'll win some, but we'll lose some. And that's not where we want to be. We win some and we win some more. That's the only place to be. So missing out on this guy, as far as I'm concerned, is not an option. And just as I said, Mo, when we got to the Champions League final, failure, yes, it's a possibility, but it's not an option. We are not in the realms of failure as a club. We're in it to win it. That guy, we've got to get him. If we don't, very disappointing, and brace yourselves. We have a fantastic manager, but boy, have we given him a big, big mountain to climb.
Fair.
Yeah. Couch critic, mate.
Yeah, man, hard to follow what Bobby just said there. I echo those sentiments 100%. I would say, first of all, I don't think that this number that is being thrown around here, this idea that, Haaland, we're throwing money at Lukaku now because we can't secure the Haaland deal. First of all, let's look at this like from the optics of it. You go to Lukaku now after all the speculation and whatnot has been directed at Chelsea's number one target is Erling Haaland. You think this late in the window now, because we can't get our number one target, they're automatically going to switch now and say like now it's Lukaku? Does not make any sense to me whatsoever. And beyond that, like you look at it from a perspective from Inter Milan. Inter Milan's going to look at the numbers that have been thrown around for Lukaku and say, well, fine, if you're going to play £150 million for Erling Haaland, then our fee is close to that, or else we're not selling. They have ambitions and aspirations as well. There's no reason for them to just sell just because we come in with an offer. You have to meet their objectives as well too. So especially with the fact that we're coming at him as a second option, like Lukaku's already turned it down. This is the second time he's turned down Chelsea in a matter of 3-4 years. So first of all, I don't even believe that we've made an offer for Lukaku. I think that everything is directed at trying to secure Erling Haaland. And the only way to do that is very much like Bobby said, is to just pony up the money. We haven't tabled the bid yet. Everything that we're seeing right now is pointing towards Chelsea making that bid for Erling Haaland to ensure that we get him. We know what the number is. It's just a matter of negotiating with them to make sure that like whatever, maybe there's add-ons that need to be negotiated. Maybe there's, if we make the Champions League final, we throw in another, I don't know, £10 million or whatever. But for me, there's no alternative to any of that. We can't be. We're talking about Vlahovic. I don't know anything about this striker. I've never seen him play. I'd be stupid to try and comment on it. The important things that I think that we have to take away from looking at other strikers is what they do within the system. And for me, the system is our striker drops deep in between the lines, is able to play on the ball, is able to be nice on the ball, hold it up, and like distribute passes. If he can't do that, then I don't even know why we're looking at him. Like, it doesn't make any sense to even begin to think about another striker. It's just like you said, Mo. It's very similar to having Tammy Abraham if he can't do those other things that we're talking about, like link up play and be effective in the box and outside of the box. So for me, I'm not really trying to hear all that. Like right now, this window is about Erling Haaland. If we do not secure him, it's just like Bobby said, this is going to be a very, very difficult year for Chelsea. We can speak on Man City. Yes, I agree that Grealish will make them better, but I don't think that he's going to make them miles better because they're already a fantastic team. Like, how much better can they possibly get? This is a team that won over 100 points a couple of years ago, and I've been to the Champions League final. Obviously, they lost that, but they're a fantastic team. So you add Grealish to that, how much better does he make them? You're taking somebody off to put him into the mix. Does that make them markedly better? I don't know if that's the case, but it definitely maintains their position as being the number one team in England right now. So we're still chasing them. We have a squad that we've assembled right now that I believe have the tools to contend, but we need that piece on top. And that piece is a clinical striker of the elite status. And as far as I'm concerned, we can't continually battle for these like 40 and 50, 60 million pound strikers. We need that elite level striker. Every year we go in for a 50 and 60 million euro striker is a year that we're missing out on getting that, elite level talent. I don't know if there's another name that we could bring to the table right now that is going to deliver what we need to do. What we need is that elite level striker. That's Erling Haaland. I would say Harry Kane is of that ilk who we're not going to get. And I would say Lewandowski. Those are the only ones for me. And of the three that we're hearing, the only one that we can actually just outright go and get is Erling Haaland. So that's it for me. If we can't do that, I really think that we should just run it back. There's no other striker out there right now that I think will improve what we have right now. Just go out there. Don't put 50, 60 million pounds into a different striker. Wait till the summer of next year and see if we can get Haaland then. Because right now, if they don't accept the 150 million pounds, I'm willing to say that we can go in and go back in next summer and try and get him then. Because look at the other options. Like Real Madrid is a shambles right now. And to be honest with you, I think that they're probably going to be going for Mbappe, if anything. You look at Barcelona, that's a tire fire. They can't be putting together the bids that we can right now. The only teams that we should be looking at that could contend with Chelsea next year for Erling Haaland, if it comes to that, is potentially Man United and Bayern Munich. And I like our chances in those particular circumstances. But again, it's about this summer, and we got to make it happen.
Can I please?
Sorry, Bobby, you guys say something?
So I was just going to say, can I please make one more further comment?
Yeah.
The issue here really is just as has been said already. Haaland is the only option. If we don't get him, we know that we have to brace ourselves for the consequences of that. There's no point spending money on creating more dead wood. We've done that. We've been there. We've got them hanging around our club, and we can't shift them. So that is not an option. It's better not to get anybody. The interesting thing here also is that Bayern Munich, I've been saying this for ages, and it's now been published and it's now public news. Bayern Munich has financial problems because of the pandemic. As well run as that club is, they have got, perhaps they never have had really, they don't have massive cash to splash. Real Madrid and Barcelona, it is not yet published the level of financial mess those two clubs are in. Real Madrid is owing billions. And unlike in the past where the government would come and bail them, I would struggle to see a Spanish government that is reeling over the effects of the pandemic and the lack of tourist industry for a considerable period of time run to start to pump millions into football. I'm yet to see that as a feasible option at the moment. They're going to have to go through periods of austerity. Now, the only possible get out of jail card that we may have, the slimmest of slim hopes, is that Man City get their marquee striker this season. Man United have spent and overspent this season and may struggle to compete with Chelsea, who will still have the 150 in the kitty to talk to Haaland about wages next season. And we will still be competitive. It then becomes a matter of whether he wants to come to us or not. Is it worth going down that road? Personally, I think if you can do a deal and be secure, do it. It takes a strange businessman that goes into suffering as part of his negotiations or business dealings. Nail this guy now. You're alone in the market. There is, in that there's no competition. Get him. Yes, it's very expensive, too expensive. But so far as we have the financial capability, seal this and seal our legacy for at least the next 5 years.
Facts.
I don't see Chelsea doing what they're doing with Lukaku. I don't see it. You see, the thing is this: if this Lukaku thing is accurate, a player that we sold, we had and we sold, and has rejected us, like Couch Critic rightly said, twice at least. I think it's 3 times actually, but
it is twice, 3 times.
Yeah, it's 3 times. Right now, we are chasing a player that we sold. Chelsea don't do that. Chelsea are reluctant to re-sign a player that they sell. We are reluctant to do that. Now, we're going to be chasing, and we're going to be offering, from what I've read today, we're going to be offering more in the contract than what we had offered Lukaku already. Because we're trying to, incite him or persuade him to agree to join Chelsea. Chelsea is begging. Do you guys believe that? That Chelsea will beg Lukaku to come back?
No.
No. Impossible. Impossible.
Nah.
Would Chelsea bid for Lukaku? Yeah, possibly. Would Chelsea want to get Lukaku? Yes, but the minute he turns his tail and he says, "Nah, I'm not interested," that is it. He's done. Because even if we pursue him and bring him into Stamford Bridge, what do you think the fan base is going to do to him? I would not want to see him at Stamford Bridge, not after him rejecting us a couple of times, 3 times.
If he puts the shirt on, I'm gonna get behind.
No, I don't care. I don't care even if he puts that shirt on, because if he is here because he wants to be here, because from what we knew, he had a legacy, he had unfinished business. That Lukaku I wanted to see at Chelsea. But the Lukaku that doesn't want to be at Chelsea, and for us to persuade him to offer him more and this and more of that, to come here at the age of 28, play a couple of seasons, and then, we'll be thinking, what are we going to do with this lad? Because we need to move him on in a couple of seasons. And we can't, because no one's going to buy him, because he's 30 plus. No, I'm not happy about that. Not for the prices that's been quoted.
I hear that.
I believe, and I agree with Bobby 110%. The only option is Erling Haaland right now. And I agree, I think it was, who was it? Angel in the chat. She said something about Man City. Where is it? I'm trying to find it again. Angel. City could also go in for Haaland next season. City, and she also said Paris Saint-Germain at some point in the chat, and PSG. All right, and other clubs will also be going for Erling Haaland. My concern is not the other clubs. My concern is Man City, Liverpool, and Man United. Next season will also bid for Erling Haaland because he's on a free. Literally, he's on a free next season. All these clubs will offer him mad contracts, and you know what Man City are going to offer him? They're going to offer him what we were reading earlier in the year, a £1 million a week.
No way.
Yeah, that's what we're reading. That's what we're
If they're
reading.
going to do that, why wouldn't they do it with
Next season they can offer that. Man City can offer that. Paris Saint-Germain can offer that.
Oh,
Chelsea
yes.
can't offer that.
Yeah.
Chelsea can't offer that.
Yeah.
Real Madrid can offer that. Real Madrid would take out a mortgage from the government just to pay off the contract for Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
Mortgage,
I mean,
you know.
we are financially strong. We can compete with
But we're
the
not stupid.
best.
But we're not
Exactly, we're not stupid.
Yeah.
Why? This is rolling the dice. It's going from a position of certainty with a high cost, and then rolling the dice with a high cost. It makes no sense. Get him now. There is no logical sense to Chelsea not bidding for Erling Haaland right now. He is the only option, and it is the only way.
Listen, I would make Borussia Dortmund accountable for their actions to their shareholders by offering them a crazy bid that if they reject, their shareholders will be in an uproar against them. Because why?
Absolutely.
You know, a player that we got for 20 million, is that how much they paid for him? 20 million? A player that we bought for 20 million 2 seasons ago, Chelsea are offering 200 million, 170 million. Why don't we sell him? We're making a ton of profit on him. Why would we sell him next season? For peanuts.
Yeah.
Their shareholders, their stakeholders, you know, the board, everyone is going to be mad if they don't do that. I want to bring in Talk Blue.
Yeah.
Talk Blue, mate. Welcome to the stream. Give me
Thank
your
you,
thoughts on
guys.
this topic, mate.
So
Welcome.
I was just thinking, why is Dortmund not accepting this? Next year they're gonna sell him for half the price Chelsea are offering. I'm just like
Less
wondering behind the scenes what's going on. Why Dortmund's not like keen to like push it for this 130 million. So
I think the question to ask is does Chelsea have the appetite to spend that kind of money? Like that's the question we're trying to figure out right now.
I'm scared because I really don't want to regret this. You know, like later on, maybe in like 2 years' time, Haaland becomes top goal scorer, and we're like regretting why we didn't spend this money in the first place.
Look,
Sorry. I don't care about Haaland becoming a top goal scorer wherever he goes. He could go wherever. I don't care.
Yeah.
Don't bother me. I'll get another striker. Bothers me. He's playing for Liverpool, Man City, Man United, and he's becoming a top goal scorer. Then, at my expense, when I could have had him on my team, that bothers me. And by the way, Sudwaki, wage cap, yes. If that does come in, you can always have goal bonuses, assist bonuses, whatever, bonuses you can implement in there. There's ways to get around it, man. Bobby, I apologize. Come in, mate.
No, you're quite right, mate. You're so right. I mean, we talk of the appetite. Nobody ever has the appetite to spend big money. I've just recently bought a car. I can't afford it, but I had to just grit my teeth and bear it because of the prospects it gives me. The evidence. The benefits it gives me. So yeah, it was painful, but I did it. Yeah, Chelsea nobody has the appetite to spend £150 million. Are you kidding me? You know what I mean? You've got a club to run. You've got all your overheads and you're paying that on top. It's not small money, but the long-term benefits is worth the sacrifice. And I don't know. I would like to believe that things have happened already and the club is being very strategic and in the silence. And that's why it's cast iron, secrecy. Nobody knows. That's what I'd like to believe. If they haven't done anything, I've got to say we've been foolish. I've got to say it.
Yeah.
I want to just say one thing. Listen, lads, in the chat. We have 64 people in the chat. I want you to do me a favor, lads. I want to pass 7,000 subscribers during this stream. We are currently... Let me just double check the figures. Hold on.
Come on, boys.
We are currently on 9,960. So we need 40 more subscribers, lads. 40 more subscribers. All right, we've got. I mean, if there's anyone in this stream right now who is not subscribed, do me that favor and subscribe to Baggy TV. It would mean a lot to me and to my channel. And if you haven't liked the stream, let's like the stream. Let's like the stream and let's try to get more people into the stream. Lads, all I care about is getting this content out to as many people as possible, because by doing that, your views, your thoughts, your ideas will be reaching more people moving forward. Let me just read this comment. Blue Lounge is better than Facebook, and hey, listen, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Big up, Angel. Big up, Angel. Now, I know. Should I say this? I know that the Blue Lounge has rebranded and has changed, but the Blue Lounge is growing, and I have big ideas for the Blue Lounge. We are nearly at 200 subscribers on the Arabic language version of the Blue Lounge. So that is growing as well. I am trying to, to make this channel accessible to more people from different parts of the world. Okay, this is a Chelsea fan channel. It's a multinational club for me. Chelsea Football Club has become a multinational football club, and I want to reach as many people as possible. And if I could speak another language, I would make another channel in that language. But unfortunately, I can only speak 2 languages. So anyway, lads, look. I seriously am fearing the worst right now. I am seriously fearing the worst right now. And what my concern is, and this is why I talked about Dusan Vlahovic.
Oh, no.
The reason why I talked about him is because I think us looking at that type of player is a problem. It is a problem.
100%.
I would be content with us, going for a massive striker, paying massive money, or not buying anyone of that caliber, because that player will be dead wood next season. We'll be thinking, how do we get rid of him next season?
That's like a
I'll
player
guarantee
like
it.
Tottenham.
Yeah, I'll guarantee it.
Yep.
I guarantee it. This guy will get him next season. We'll be like, how do we get rid of him? Who's gonna buy him? Who's gonna buy him?
Yeah.
I will stick with Tammy Abraham. Tammy Abraham, you don't want to sign a contract extension? Don't. Stay here. Stay here. Play out your contract. 2 more years, go.
Yeah, man.
You're staying. You're going to be playing. We've got an up-and-coming striker, Armando Broja. He's coming up. He's developing.
Here we go.
All right? And we will get a striker next season. I'm content with Timo Werner, Havertz. You know what? I'd keep Ross Barkley as a rotational attacking midfielder, just to give me the option. But I would not go ahead and buy a player that I'm going to be thinking, how do I get rid of him next season?
Exactly.
You know what?
Yeah.
I would go with that. If we can't get Haaland, that I would go with that rather than, as you have rightly said, invest in creating dead wood. In fact, if anything, that then the only other thing we can do is, I know some Chelsea fans don't like this idea, but maybe go for a big priced central defensive midfielder, because one thing we'll definitely have to have sorted and super correct is our defense.
Yeah.
I wanna ask you guys a question, but before I ask this question, big up to Blue Clouds TV. Always chipping in with the donation and supporting the channel. Blue Clouds, there is a link in the group. Click on it and jump on here, mate. Would love to have your thoughts and opinions on this topic, Blue Clouds. Lads, do you think? I mean, worst case scenario. Erling Haaland does not come to Chelsea. Worst case scenario. God forbid it doesn't happen. But if it does, do you think we can go a season playing a Pep Guardiola type of system where we don't have a defined number 9, but we have a front line of players who can all contribute to scoring a goal? Maybe like play the false 9 system. Having Havertz, having Werner, having Ziyech, having Mount, having any one of the attacking midfielders playing in that false 9 position, and carry on a season without an out-and-out striker? Do you guys think we can do that?
It just depends on what your ambitions are for the season. Like we can certainly do that. It's just whether or not I don't think we're going to be contending for the title with this current makeup of the squad. I think that we could, possibly challenge for top four. Let's keep in mind the last couple of years, top four was achieved. We kind of like backed into it. It's not like we achieved it by stellar play for the 38 games. We kind of just fluked our way in under Frank the first year, and then because the other teams fell apart, and then last year we have to thank Tottenham for getting us in the top four last year, right? But as much as I hate to admit it,
pushing it a little bit, but
it was.
Yeah, no. I mean, we did perform. We performed and got ourselves in that position whereby we could rely on Tottenham to do a little bit of a. I mean, I think they had their maths a little bit wrong, because if they knew that we were going to be qualifying to the Champions League because of that result, they might have done something else. But it is what it is. I want to say a big up to Nee Zion. Nee Zion, how are you, my man?
I'm not too bad. I was just streaming a couple minutes ago, and then I just ended the stream, and then I saw you live. I was like, oh, okay, let me come out here and help my brother contribute.
Always good to have you on. Always good to have you on. And listen, people in the chat. Nee Zion, Blue Class TV, it needs your support. It needs your support because this is an up-and-coming Chelsea channel. We have a lot of friends that watch the Blue Lounge from the United States, and from Canada. And the community in the US or in North America is growing. The Chelsea community in North America is growing, and we have some up and coming channels in that part of the world that I'd like to support, and this is one of them. Blue Class TV is one of those channels. So give it a subscription. Check out his content. Follow him on Twitter. There's some good content there. Nee Zion, my man.
Yes.
Big up, Nee.
Yeah, big up, Bobby. Big up, Bobby.
Nee Zion,
and then Top Blue. And then my brother up there, CFC Coach Critic. Yeah.
Couch Critic.
Yeah, Couch Critic. Yeah.
All right, Nee Zion.
Yes.
In a minute, I'm gonna ask you a question now, and then you're gonna answer it. But when you're answering it, I'm gonna zoom in onto your face. But when I'm gonna zoom in onto your face, I'm gonna clip that for my my intro video. So smile a little bit.
Okay.
No, for real. Nee Zion.
Yes, sir.
We were talking about the situation with Erling Haaland, with Lukaku, and with a potential tier 2, 3, 4 striker coming into Chelsea Football Club as a backup in case these two deals don't happen. What do you see as being the exact situation we're in now? I mean, do you see Chelsea moving away from the Erling Haaland deal and focusing on Lukaku? Do you see the Lukaku situation with him refusing to be accurate? Do you think this is actually happening, or do you think this is all reporters trying to sell stories and just trying to keep this thing alive when there is actually nothing going on? And before you answer, and if there is nothing going on, why the hell not? The transfer window is about to close in a couple of weeks, and why in a month? But why is there nothing going on? So I want to get your thoughts on this, mate.
Okay. Baggy. Okay. This is what I think. I mean, beginning up to start with, Marina and the Chelsea hierarchy have not really started well with this transfer thing. They made Haaland as their number one. If you are Lukaku and a team that really wants you is making you as their number two, if it doesn't go well with the main striker, what would you do? Would you like to join them? Because you don't want to play second fiddle to any club because of your pedigree, the number of goals you score, and how you've been rated very high. So if I were Lukaku, I mean, I'm going to flex a little bit. I'll flex my muscles because it looks like, Chelsea did not really rate me. They rated the young guy over me, a guy that really saw Drogba, really saw all these players as real model when I joined Chelsea Football Club. But then they made it in the newspapers everywhere to the journalists that are close to the club that they want to sign the number one top striker, Haaland. Right now, what it is now is, okay, Haaland is not coming. Borussia Dortmund said they want 150. Why won't you pay the 150? Why won't you put in a bid and see if it will be rejected, or see if they will take that money? But then all we hear, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted over here. My son is just bugging me over here. Getting distracted. Sorry.
Take a minute, deal with him and come back.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good.
I know it all too well.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out who this is. Sign Haaland up, Marina. Who is this?
Big up, guys. How you all doing?
Hey, DJ. Welcome to the stream, mate. Try to do a style one there, man.
What's going on with you guys? You all good?
Yeah, DJ.
We're good, man. DJ, tell me what's happening, man. Tell me what's happening, man.
I really like you, Baggy. I don't know, mate.
DJ, one second. DJ, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I'm taking clips from my intro video from the stream. So if you get a minute and you can switch on your cam, appreciate it. If you can't, it's all good. I've got clips of you already, but some fresh ones would be good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, as I was saying, I don't know if you guys saw last night. I was watching Sadiq last night on one of his streams. He was going on. There was a lot of talk. Yeah, there was a lot of talk about Haaland. There was like there was a lot of good news on there. They were all smiling and everything about it, about a tweet that apparently had gone on or something. And they were saying about this we got to, is it sign? I think it's Haaland within 7 to 8 days or something like that. They're saying he's going to be coming. A decision is going to be made on him.
Yep.
So listen, I've not given up hope. I know there's this other tweet that went around today saying that Haaland, from the Haaland camp, saying he's going to stay. But I also am also hearing that if Chelsea were to make that big offer in for him, this is a deal they cannot refuse. And I think I still am confident. I'm still holding up for him. I think he will come. It's just we've got to be a bit more patient on it. I know it's hard. It's very hard for us Chelsea fans at the moment because we really want this guy signed up. I just think this whole Haaland saga, it's getting to the stage now where people are just getting tired of talking about it. And I think as and when this deal does happen, I still think it's still going to happen. I just think it's just a long deal because it's we're talking about 150 million here, and with the add-ons on there, I mean, it's probably going to be one of the biggest deals in the transfer window to be made by us. So, I'm still confident it can happen. It's gonna be a long way to go, but I'm still confident it will happen. I'm still edging for the 7th of August for this thing to all be wrapped up at least. But let's see what happens. I'm still holding confidence on it though.
Who is David Fisher? Anyone know who this guy is?
I'm checking it out now.
Like, but I've seen his tweets, but who is he though? Like, is he somebody? And I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm not we know that this whole transfer saga thing has been like airtight. We're not really getting a whole lot of information. Am I to believe that there's somebody on Twitter that's being fed information and are now able to like speak on this Haaland situation? I don't think it works like that, man. I don't know. I know it's good to be talking about the stuff. Everyone becomes a journalist now on Twitter, right? You can just put anything, any little blurb. Oh yeah, this is what's going on, and everyone's like buying it. It's just silly, right?
Yeah,
I think all the reflex actions and reactions we're getting on Twitter is testament to the fact that nobody knows a Scooby-Doo about this deal. The club has locked it down. As always, I don't need to talk when DJ's around because he just speaks my thoughts. I'm with him 100%. I'm still holding out.
I'm gonna share on the screen what David Fisher is saying, just because there's a lot of people in the chat wanting to see it. So I'm gonna share it with you lot, and we'll have a quick gander at it and talk about it. Dortmund has given a positive response to our bid of £130 million with 15 to 20 million pounds in add-ons. Don't worry that it isn't accepted yet. Don't worry that it isn't accepted yet. Dortmund want to look at a possible signing without clubs knowing about the Haaland deal. If other clubs knew that, they could have pushed up the price a lot. Listen. I'm not an expert on this David Fisher dude. I've read that tweet and I read a tweet before that, and I've seen how many followers he has, and I know that's not a base to judge, how many followers an account has or whatnot. But most of his comments, most of his discussions with other people on Twitter, it seems like it's nitpicking, and journalists don't do that. Journalists they would put their story out there. People like it, they don't like it. Journalists don't really interact with people on that level. They'll interact in regards to the validity of the story, but to interact with personal things is a bit weird. So from that aspect, I'm not really too sure about this David Fisher dude. And talking about the last bit of that tweet, where Chelsea, where Dortmund want to see if other clubs are prepared to outbid Chelsea, that's just being stupid, because nobody.
No, I think what he's saying. I think what he was saying was Dortmund is trying to secure their targets before they get the Haaland money in, so that they don't have to pay over the odds for the targets that they're going after. That's
which that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That would make sense. That I would agree with. That is because if the clubs know that these guys have a ton of money, they could increase that. I would I wouldn't argue with that. If from a business
but
point
at the
of
same
view,
time, but look at it like this: if you're buying a striker, I mean, you put 2 and 2 together, chances are they're selling Haaland, right? So it's not. I don't know how much difference that actually makes.
And they made a ton already on Jadon Sancho in respect to that deal. So they do have money. And I know DJ Sav has a bad internet connection, so he'll be in and out from the stream. I want to go back to Lee Zion, because he was disturbed by his children, and I hope he's all right now.
Yeah, I got twin boys here, so
twins.
Yeah,
Wow.
I got twin boys.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Go on, man.
This is what I was saying. I believe the Haaland deal, something will pop up next week, very strong next week, because there's something that I read somewhere. There was journalists who asked, he has a friendly discussion with Haaland, asking him about his kind of food he likes and his favorite color and that kind of thing, and the guy said yellow. So it was like, that's why he liked the Borussia Dortmund color. He said, yeah. So I was like, what's all going on? Is it like coincidence that Chelsea released that yellow kit out today? And then I was like, okay, that guy would look very nice in that yellow jersey. So, well, it's something that Chelsea fans would like to hear and make them happy, because that is all. I'm telling you, although we have Koundé coming in, that is not what Chelsea want to see. They want to see that Norwegian.
Did he say he likes fish and chips?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I was just trying to be funny.
Yeah.
Can I remind you guys of something? Erling Haaland is made in the UK, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
He was born in Leeds, where I grew up. He was born in Leeds. Okay, so Erling Haaland. I've seen pictures of him wearing a Leeds pair of shorts today, and everyone's like, oh, he's going to Leeds United because he's wearing Leeds shorts. No. The fact that Erling Haaland wants to come to Chelsea, the fact that Erling Haaland wants to come back to the UK, don't be surprised about that, because Norwegians already have a good bond with the UK, and the fact that he was born in the UK, the fact that his father played in England, all right, there's a lot linking him with England. Erling Haaland coming to England is not something crazy. It's the norm. I believe it will happen. It could happen either this year, in the future, hopefully with Chelsea, maybe with somebody else. I think moving forwards, in regards to where Haaland is going to be, it really lies in two places. Either Real Madrid in Spain, or a club in the top tier of the Premier League. Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, Man United, clubs of that caliber. And I think he will do that. My concern is this: the stories that we're seeing, and I keep going back. I mean, I know you guys want to address the options and the possibilities, but I keep going back to this topic because I think this is the most important aspect of this thing. Why? Like I say again, why is it not happened? Hasn't happened? and every time I ask that question, I think we get closer to the actual fact. And Couch Critic just said something a minute ago, which I believe plays a massive part in this, because they would like to see their business concluded before they bring in a ton of money, and then they would have to pay over the regular prices for these players, because the clubs know that this team has money and they can spend money. Yeah. Which is fair enough. That could be why things have been delayed. Things could be delayed because they were looking to get a striker, and now that they've got a striker, now they're negotiating and they're talking. Things could have been delayed for that. But nothing happens for no reason. And the fact that Chelsea is, since yesterday, and to be fair, it's not since yesterday, I've been hearing this behind the scenes for the past 4 days. It came to the surface yesterday and again today that Chelsea are moving to sign Lukaku. But even if that is happening, let's look at it logically, because I like to look at things from a logical perspective. Why have we not heard a peep in regards to Erling Haaland? But we're hearing Lukaku himself is rejecting Chelsea when it comes to the Lukaku deal. Why are we hearing such detailed information? Not only did he reject Chelsea, but no, he listened. He sat down. He talked to Chelsea, back and forth discussion, and then he said, "Nah, I'm not interested, mate." Do you see? Yep. It's a slap across the face, man. And I am a big fan. I'm a big fan of Lukaku as a player. Big fan. Less what's the word here? Less convinced of the past year or so, especially what I saw him perform and how I saw him perform in the Euros. Less convinced with him, but I would love to see Lukaku at Chelsea. To see Lukaku at Chelsea for me would be something special. I think he this is where he should be, because I think he does have unfinished business. But when I hear, I'm not interested. I don't know. I want to stay at Inter Milan. When I hear that kind of talk, it makes me, reevaluate my stance in respect to Lukaku. And this is the person who likes Lukaku. So what about the other fans who think, Lukaku is useless? And I know there's a few. So what's their stance going to be in regards to Lukaku? And that's why I don't like hearing that. Not a peep out of the Erling Haaland situation, but details in regards to Lukaku. So what, is Chelsea really good at closing deals, or is Chelsea, out in the open like CNN? I don't know.
I don't even know if it's Chelsea. I don't even know if it's Chelsea. Like when I look at Lukaku, like you put a microphone in front of him, he's going to be talking. That's the history of him. Like he usually talks. Yeah. You know what I mean? He'll tell you this, that, and the other. Like he goes away on Belgian duty and he starts talking about United and stuff. Like that's just what he does. Whereas from the Haaland camp, it doesn't look like Erling Haaland isn't up on social media and stuff like that, putting his business out on there. If anything that he wants to be put out there, it's either through Jan Fjørtoft or Mino Raiola, and Mino doesn't even really say that much, So I don't know. The other thing to consider too, and I want to know what you guys think about this too. Like we talk about like how like there's been a resurgence from Lukaku since he's gone to Serie A. He's kind of like found his form again. Like how does the form in Serie A translate to that of the Premier League? Because I'm of the opinion that what you do in Serie A doesn't necessarily translate well to what happens in the Premier League. Just in my opinion, I haven't seen anyone that has lit it up in Serie A go elsewhere and still continue to light it up like that. Like you look at like who's the guy that went to PSG that was killing it at Inter? Icardi. He went to PSG and he can't even get on. He couldn't even get on the pitch. It's just I don't know if it translates well. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, it's a good point. And I think the actual style of play is a lot different. If you're good, if you're good in one league, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be good in a different league. But it's also not a reason for you not to be good in another league. And
That's true.
This is what we saw with Timo Werner. Timo Werner was a great finisher in the Bundesliga. A great finisher. Well, he wasn't immaculate, but he was great. He had a ton of goals. comes to the Premier League, and I'm serious. You know, the man his level declined. His level declined because it's not that it's harder or it's tougher. He is missing chances that he was putting away in the Bundesliga. I mean, if he wasn't, you know, getting in the right positions, if he wasn't, you know, having those chances, I would say that, you know, he's not good enough. But no, he's still getting those opportunities. It's just he's not able to finish them. And I think it's a confidence issue. I think it's also an adjustment issue.
Yeah, the pace of the game is different. The pace of the game is different.
Not only that, couch critic. Not only that, but people seem to underestimate how big of an impact the pandemic has had in respect to football. It has had a massive impact. I mean, let's put football aside. Each one of you here on the panel right now and in the chat, how many things in your personal lives had to change because of this situation, this pandemic? How many things that are you now? I mean, you know, everyone is different, but in the UK, things are starting to get back to normal slowly, gradually. But even us in society that is trying to get back to normal, we are finding things a little bit strange because we've had 2 years of lockdown pretty much. And now we're getting back to normality. It's taken us a little while to adjust. So the players that we're talking about, the Timo Werners, the Havertz, the Ziyech, all these guys, apart from Ben Chilwell, who was already in the Premier League, all these guys had to cross a pond, a river, a lake, an ocean, a sea, a channel to get to the UK. And then they had to play football without their friends and family. All right? Different language, different culture, different system. That's why Timo Werner is struggling. Even though Germany and the UK are not that far apart, but still it's not the same. That's why I believe in Havertz. I believe in Timo Werner. I believe in Ziyech. I believe in all of these lads. That this season coming, we're going to see something special from these lads. Erling Haaland, I'd love to have him at Chelsea. And again, I don't think that this thing is over. I don't think that the Haaland deal is dead in the water. I think there is a lot that we don't know. And I think we will know. I agree with whoever said it'll be like another 6 to 7, maybe 8 days before we know what's going on. I agree with that. But I wanna add a little twist to the debate. Do you know when the Koundé story first came up? A couple of days ago. Julius Koundé. We all thought it was a done deal, right? We all thought it was a done deal, medical in a couple of days. But it's not that. It's not even there. It's not even there because right now, there's talks about, is Kurt Zouma going to be in the swap deal? Is Kurt Zouma even willing to go to Sevilla? Or does he want to go to West Ham? So it's not straightforward, even with a deal where the club that wants to sell is prepared to sell for the price that we're offering, and the player wants to come. Even that is not straightforward. So imagine the Haaland deal. When Dortmund is, you know, every other word is, we're not selling Haaland. Haaland is staying at Dortmund. When you're dealing with a club that's saying that, all right, it's going to make it a lot harder. So it's not over for me.
You know what's funny? Like, we always take the human element out of these deals. Yeah. You know, we just assume that, you know, Zouma, you know, he has his family here now. He's built a life for himself here in London. And we just assume that he's just going to go to Sevilla and just play football because, you know, we want to get Koundé and he's just going to do that. Well, what if he's settled here? You know, like, what if he doesn't want to go to Sevilla? You know, these are things that we don't. What if, you know, the pandemic has made him more focused on being stable at home rather than going somewhere in Spain, or like not knowing what the conditions are over there. You know, like, there's all sorts of things that we don't take into consideration when we're talking about like transferring one player from one team to another one in a completely different league altogether, you know. And in that respect, I can understand Zouma not wanting to go all the way to Spain when he's already settled in London. He has a young family and whatnot. His life is set up, you know.
He's been in the UK for a long time now.
A long time.
Yeah. For him to go, it isn't going to be easy. Zion needs to go.
Yep.
So I'll give you a minute to give me your final thoughts before you leave, my man.
What I'll say is all Chelsea fans just hang on to hope. we might see something happening next week before the windows come to an end. I know it's been frustrating. Everybody's saying what is going on with Haaland. We hear news coming out from other players that Chelsea want to secure or sign, but we don't hear nothing from Haaland. It's a deal that, I mean, it will take a long way to get it done. But I want Chelsea fans to take it easy. Let's just pray that we have a number one target. Thank you, guys. Thank you for Baggy having me here. And then thank you, the Couch Critic. I can't see his name very well. Yeah, Couch Critic. Yeah. Thank you for, chatting with you guys and Bobby too, my brother. You guys enjoy the rest of the night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Respect, brother. Take care.
See you, Needs.
All right, bye-bye.
Hopefully, I'll make it on your panel someday.
Yeah, I hope so. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for coming. Listen, boys, I've put the link in the chat and I've pinned it as the pinned comment. I think I've pinned it. Have I pinned it? I have pinned it. It's pinned as the top comment. So for the next, I'll say half an hour, we're going to have the discussion open with you guys in the chat. So anybody who wants to come in, click on that link and you're more than welcome to jump on and give me your 2 cents in regards to the Erling Haaland, Lukaku, Dusan Vlahovic, anything related to Chelsea. Come on board and let's have a chit chat, lads. We are on 92 likes, so thank you all for hitting that like button. But we're 8 likes away from 100. It would mean a ton to reach that, and we are still 30 odd subscribers away from 7,000. 30 odd subscribers away from 7,000. If you haven't subscribed, consider it. That's what I'm asking you to do. Just consider it. Watch a couple of my videos, a couple of my streams, and if you want to stick around, stick around. And if you don't, I'm gonna say goodbye and I'm gonna miss you. But if you do hit that subscribe button, it would mean a ton to me. Listen, lads. Before we, you know what, Mikhail? I haven't seen you for ages. Mikhail, you're always on other people's streams. You're a celebrity elsewhere, but you don't come on my streams, Mikhail. Have I said something to offend you? Have I hurt your feelings? Have I done something to you, man? Because I've seen you. You're in my chat, but you don't come in on my streams, man. I don't know. You used to be a regular. Bobby, do you remember Mikhail? Do you remember? You probably forgot Mikhail because he hasn't been here for such a long time.
Yeah, Mikhail, you've got to jump on, man. Mo's our tier 1. He's the main man. So what's up with you? Come on.
Listen. I've even heard and I've seen you got a really crystal clear camera, and I want to see that crystal clear camera on my stream. I want to see some good quality HD cameras on my stream, man. I mean, Couch Critic has got a good one, but I think yours might be a little bit better. So jump on, Mikhail. Jump on if you can. DJ Sav, how's it going, man?
Yo, not bad, mate. Not bad. All good.
Listen, this David Fisher dude. What do you know about him?
Not much really. I did just see something. I did see a thing. He was. I think he was the one that tweeted something as well, didn't he? Regarding the whole Haaland situation. I don't know. I don't know much about him. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, I literally saw him today. His tweet today. What is his source? What is that information coming from? I don't know. I mean, the thing is with the Erling Haaland story. There is so much chit chat. There is so much talk in the Chelsea bubble that it's really hard to distinguish just opinion from fact. Yeah. That is so hard. And you know what? Let's talk about the facts. Sorry, my table. Let's talk about the facts. All right, now guys, I'm gonna say a statement. If it's a fact, tell me it's a fact. If it's an opinion, you tell me it's an opinion. Yeah, let's try that. Erling Haaland wants to play for Chelsea.
Opinion.
Opinion?
I think it's a fact. If he's given the opportunity, he would want to.
Yeah,
he said he would like to play for Chelsea. He said he would to play. Yes, he did.
He did.
This was a while back, but he did say he would like to play for Chelsea. It's another one. Erling Haaland has a history with the UK. Fact or opinion?
Oh, that's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Truth. Yeah.
Chelsea is a better team than Borussia Dortmund.
Of course. Fact.
Champions
Come on
champions
now.
of Europe. Champions of
Yeah,
Europe.
man.
Champions
Can't
of
get away
Europe.
from that. Yeah.
Champions of Europe. All right, facts. Chelsea can pay a better contract to Erling Haaland.
Fact.
Fact. Erling Haaland would have more success in his career playing for Chelsea than Borussia Dortmund.
Fact.
100% fact.
How do you measure success?
Titles.
Oh, fact.
Yeah.
Fact. Okay. Erling Haaland would be a bigger star on the world stage playing for Chelsea than Dortmund.
Fact.
Spot on,
Okay.
100%.
Now that we've established that, let's keep going and we talk about the deal. Okay. Chelsea can pay £150 million to buy Erling Haaland.
Opinion.
Well,
Fact.
Opinion? From all calculations and indications, it seems to be a fact.
That's a fact.
Okay.
How is it a fact? Like, we don't know what the bottom line is at Chelsea right now.
Basically, if you think of all the, I was just going to say, sorry, Bag. I was just going to say, if you think of what we've done, you got to think about the money that we've gained from the Champions League, our title, our finish in the Premiership, how far we got in the FA Cup, all those wages have to take into consideration, plus what Roman is putting in as well, and there are some sales of players as well that we've done. And sales
Yeah, but we don't know. We don't know what Roman's going to put in. We don't know any of that. Given the amount of money that we made from like the Champions League and the
couch. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't say they can. They are gonna bid. I said they can. They can bid.
I still think it's opinion.
They may bid less. But they can. Actually, I'll change my statement. Chelsea can bid £200 million for Erling Haaland. Fact or opinion?
They can do it.
They can.
Yeah, they can do it. Yeah.
He's here. He's finally showed up.
Hey,
We got Mikhail. Hey,
Mikhail in the stream. I got to zoom in on this because I'm gonna put this in my intro. Hold on a second. Here we go. Hey, it's smiling. Yeah, Mikhail. How you doing, my man? How you doing,
Big up
Mikhail?
everybody. Big up all the panel. I'm doing great.
Where have you been? Man? Where have you been?
Oh, I've been around. I think our timings have started to clash a little bit with the family activities because Ontario was in lockdown and now we're not. So life's picking up again, and you gotta run around. As you can see, I'm in the car. So
hold on, is that another Canadian? Did I hear Ontario?
Yeah, believe it.
All right.
yes, representing.
Nice.
Yes,
I don't know what it is about my channel, but I keep attracting North Americans, man, Canadians, Americans. It's one of these vibes I have with Bagger TV and the Blue Lounge. It's just attracting all these North Americans. But hey, I'm happy to have you. Mikhail, let's finish this fact and opinion segment. Oh, here we go. Look who's here. It's the man himself, Boogeyman.
Hey.
Boogeyman in the house. It's gonna get interesting now, man. All right, Mikhail, Boogeyman. It's gonna get interesting. Boogeyman, I want to see you, man. Can I see you? I want to clip this.
You cannot see me. I'm in our car with my wife driving, so you probably won't be able to see me. That's the problem right now.
Are you still on vacation? Are you still on vacation?
Oh,
Are you back home?
I'm still on a vacation. Yeah. The fact that Mikhail showed up in the car, I decided to show up also.
Big up, Boogeyman.
Big up, the boys.
Big up, fellas.
Over. Yeah, I was trolling the chat. I was trolling the chat until Mo started trolling me.
Listen, lads. We have a big community here, and I enjoy having you guys on. And listen, your family. You, Boogeyman, Couch Critic, everyone that comes on this panel, your family. So if I don't see you for a few days, I miss my brothers, man. I miss my family. So don't be strangers, man. Keep coming on. It's true. It's true. It's from the heart.
I'll be back.
Yeah, you'll be back.
Man.
I listen. When people go on vacation, when they go home, they give gifts to their family. So don't forget me now. No. For real. Listen, so I was trying to put the base for the following. When I was saying fact and opinion, I was trying to put the base for the following. The facts all push us into the direction that Chelsea are able, and keen and wanting to get this deal over the line. All the attributes that are needed to get this deal over the line for Erling Haaland are there. The fact that it's not over the line, in my opinion, is because of Borussia Dortmund. And I will come back and say this. I believe the Erling Haaland camp want this deal just as much as Chelsea want this deal. And all you have to do is listen to Jan Arg-Foytov talk for 2 seconds and you know that. And this man is connected to the camp. I see him as being the spokesman for the Erling Haaland family when it comes to this transfer. Okay, now, if this deal hasn't happened, the reason why it hasn't happened is solely on the shoulders of Borussia Dortmund. And I'm saying this now because I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of hate pushed against Marina Granovkaia, Abramovic, and the rest of the Chelsea board for not pushing this deal hard enough. And I don't want to see that happen because I think we are doing what we have to do, because it doesn't make sense. You know, if Chelsea didn't want to sign this player and we're not prepared to go the full distance, would have been shut down ages ago. Mikhail, Boogeyman, I want to hear your thoughts, man.
Mikhail, go first, please.
Okay. Listen, my take is different, and that's why I keep out of these discussions lately, because this is.
I want to hear a different take. Give me a different take. I want to hear it. I want to hear it, man.
My take is different in the sense that it's silly season now. Nobody knows what's going to happen. The only thing that will determine what will happen is August 31st when the window closes, and then we'll know when the dust settles what actually happened. So yes, we all want Haaland. But life goes on if we don't get Haaland. If Haaland doesn't want to come to Chelsea, if Chelsea doesn't want to pay the money for Haaland, or Haaland's agent, or Haaland's dad, life goes on. Chelsea doesn't pack up as a club and shut shop. We still have to go into the next season. So the question for me throughout this window has not been about whether Haaland's going to come or not. The question has been, how do we improve our squad from last season so that we make a title run this season, which we should be in good position to do from a defensive aspect. However, we're not scoring enough goals. How do we fix that? And the answer is yes, get a Haaland. 100%, I agree with that. But it's not an easy deal. And as much as we will sit here and every day come to the stream and read everything we can into every news story that's out there that, oh, no, this means Haaland's going to be coming. Great. But what if it doesn't happen? What are we going to do? Are we going to be like doing a panic buy on deadline day, or worse, not doing anything and having the same issue, seeing Tammy sit in the bench all season next season? That's not a solution. Now, Broja is coming through the ranks, but he's a little young. I don't want to put pressure on him to score 20-plus goals. Go buy somebody else or line up somebody else, at least, in case Haaland cannot come. Somebody that can put goals away, whether it's an Ings or it's a Kane or it's a Lukaku, I don't really care. The problem is Lukaku is overpriced. Kane doesn't want to play for you. Lukaku doesn't want to play for you, apparently. You're the champions of Europe. Have some self-respect. Have some self-respect.
Do you believe that, Mikhail? Mikhail, do you believe those stories that Lukaku has turned Chelsea down again? Lukaku, this is the problem for me, because it's not he turned them down. He sat down with Chelsea. He listened to them, and then he turned them down. It wasn't like, listen, I'm happy where I am. There's no point in doing this. No, he actually listened to them. He sat down with them, and then he turned them down. Do you believe that story, or do you think there is, a little bit of misinformation in respect to that? I mean, what's your thoughts on that particular story?
It's possible. It's again, how much can we read into it, right? So whether he sat with Chelsea or he didn't sit with Chelsea, he's not playing at Chelsea. Why? Because other clubs wanted him more, probably, or he saw the project at other clubs as being more attractive to whatever he had in mind. I don't care. The only thing that I care about is that we get players that want to play for the badge, that want to be at the club. And if these guys are too big for their boots, let them be wherever they are. Good luck to them. If we could go win a Champions League with Olivier Giroud and Tammy, I don't care what Lukaku says or did not say, what Haaland said or did not say. We are bigger than Haaland or Lukaku.
I agree.
This is Chelsea Football Club. We're the champions of Europe. And that's my take. And that's why when I see everybody bickering over, players that we may or may not sign, it's pointless, because this is not the debate. The debate is for the club to improve itself. What do we need to do? At this point, seeing that 6 or 7 goals last season was our highest score, for whatever the reasons were, we need a better goal conversion from somebody up front. And to say that, Pulisic's going to score 20 goals next season, or Kai is going to go score 20 goals next season, is not really dealing with that problem. It's just hoping that, they go score more goals. I hope so too, right? But that's not going to be the answer. Yes, Haaland will solve that problem, hopefully. But it's not just about the money, I think. There's more than money, or maybe there's more than just what the club's asking for or the agent's asking for, or it's a complicated deal. So yes, we want it to happen as fans. I'm sure we want it to happen as the Chelsea administration as well. But if it doesn't happen, that should not mean that we don't do any business this window. And once I've said that, all I want to see is somebody that can put in some goals for us next season. Whether it's a Danny Ings, I don't care whether it's a Vlahovic, it's a Weghorst, it's a Silva. I don't care who gets the job done. We need to improve from last season. That to me is the requirement for this season.
Would you buy a tier 2 striker like Vlahovic? Would you buy him?
In context, I would. The context is that we could not land a Haaland. I'm not gonna wait till the last minute of the transfer window to reach the conclusion that we are not getting Haaland. Let's find out. Let's make a bid. Let's find out and move on if we need to.
Is he really that much of an upgrade on to Tammy Abraham? Do you see him as being an upgrade on to Tammy Abraham?
Listen, my boot's an upgrade on Tammy Abraham. Let's not go there.
Oh my gosh.
Let's not go there. Please.
That's harsh, Mikhail.
I know it's harsh. I know it's harsh, but we all saw that preseason window and we did not see anything different.
Yeah. I don't think it's a case of any striker will do though.
But it's preseason, Mikhail. I mean, preseason.
Preseason, postseason, mid-season.
Look, Danny Drinkwater looked like he was, Fabregas. Let the season start.
But here's the thing: Tammy looked exactly like Tammy. Tammy actually looked true to form. Tammy looked like Tammy always looks. There was no difference in Tammy's game. He looked like he could put a few away, and he didn't. That's the problem with Tammy. That he needs too much service to actually get some goals. He scores 5 in 1 or like 1 in 5, 1 in 10, whatever that ratio is. It's not working for us.
But it has to be behind.
Yeah.
Check, yeah.
So the debate for me is, how do we improve on Tammy? And all these names that I've thrown up are not my favorites. They're just players that I think will do a better job than Tammy. Whether it's them or somebody out of left field, I don't care. As long as we get some goals out of a player playing up front. And yes, Haaland is the answer. But I don't want the conversation to become, it's Haaland or Tammy. I'm sorry, it's not. There has to be other options. We're a professional club. We're the champions of Europe. There has to be other legitimate, pragmatic options available in the market. And I'm getting a little tired of Lukaku being the answer every time. Lukaku is not the answer. Lukaku wasn't the answer 10 years ago. Lukaku wasn't the answer 5 years ago. Lukaku is not the answer today. And again, he's not the answer because he's overpriced. It's the same argument that you're using for Vlahovic. Vlahovic is not that expensive, but he's getting noticed now, so his valuation is going up. Okay, fine. Don't get a Vlahovic. Get a Ings. I don't know how much Ings is worth. Is Ings worth 25 million, 30 million? Spend on an Ings. Save your money. If you need to go back in next summer for Haaland, go back in next summer for Haaland. This is all assuming that we're not getting Haaland. And what's worrying me is that we're going to wait till deadline day to make that determination that we're not getting Haaland. Find out.
We can't
already.
We can't.
Find out already.
Yeah, we can't.
But I also think that it's not a case of any striker will do. You know, we have
I
to get the
agree.
right striker. We can't
I
just
agree.
continually just spend money,
Yes,
and then not
yes,
fix the
for the
problem.
big money. For the big money, I agree with you. But if it's going to be a budget bargain, I don't care who it is as long as they know where the goal is.
Well, I
Kai
don't know if
Havertz
that's
knows where the goal is.
Yeah, but I don't think we can put that pressure on Kai Havertz to go play 60 games next season. Like that's a bit unrealistic. Like
Yeah.
he's not that kind of a forward or striker where we hang our hat on him that, oh, you're the man, you're going to go score 40 goals for us this season. I'm sure he can. I'm sure he'll grow into that. Like I feel he will grow into a prolific goal machine. But I don't necessarily see it happening next season. Being realistic, I'm not to say that it cannot happen. Maybe he'll just go up a level and go up a gear and blow everybody out of the water. Like, power to him. But what I'm saying is that after having won the Champions League, what has the club done to make sure that next season we put a better foot forward from day one in the striking department? And right now, yes, everybody's chasing Haaland. I just don't want us to have tunnel vision in that situation, or go take that same amount of money. I'd rather we save that money, like everybody's saying. Don't spend it on XYZ, so B grade strikers. I agree with that. Do not overspend on B grade strikers, but that doesn't mean don't go spend on a striker. You already let Giroud leave. Tammy's pretty much half out the door too. You need somebody to come in, and if you're just going to hang your hat on one Haaland and nothing else, that's a waste of the window. Firstly, secondly, Lukaku for me does not want to play at in London. I think he's done with London. He doesn't want to come here. I think he's lived in England, and he's liking his sunny Milan life right now, and he's happy where he is. Leave him be. Like, why are we trying to throw 100 million, 80 million on
Listen,
a Lukaku? He's 28 years old, and
listen,
he's not.
listen.
He's not going to give us 5 years. He's probably going to give us 1 or 2 seasons, and then you start seeing him taper off again.
No, but Kyle, man,
This is my opinion. This is my
I,
opinion, and
yeah,
I will admit that it's harsh, but this is how I feel. I
no,
want us
listen,
moving forward for next season,
no,
not
we've
deluding
we've
ourselves.
we've missed your feedback on the channel, man. Boogeyman just
No,
left. Boogeyman
you.
just left, man. You were talking for so long. Boogeyman car.
I'm
Something happened to
sorry.
his car, man.
Sorry,
Something
Boogeyman.
happened to his car. His wife had a fight with him, and now he's gone. Look at that, man.
No. The thing is, I've been avoiding coming on because I'm letting the Blue Lounge Haaland debate go on, because I knew the minute I'm going to come on, I'm going to start saying things like this, and then
No,
everybody is thinking.
I listen. What you've said is what we've needed to hear, because we want to hear a different point of view. We want to hear a different perspective. So the fact that you've come and you've laid out these thoughts, these ideas, much love and much respect to them. Before I address some of them, big up to Blue Clouds. Not only did he just send another donation, but he also became a member of the Baggy crew. I have a paid membership on my channel that gives you literally a whole bunch of badges and emojis to use in the chat and in the comments. To become a member, you have to click on the join button just below this video, and it costs you, I think, $2.99. $2.99 a month, which is the price of a cup of coffee, and it just gives you access to some emojis for the time being. I am going to have some content specifically for the members in the future, but as right now my membership is quite small. I think I've got like 10 members. So we're going to keep it just emojis and badges for now, but it's going to develop over time. So Blue Clouds TV, Nizayon, much love, and I appreciate you for becoming a member. Bobby in the chat Bobby in the panel is already a member, and I think DJ Sav is a member. Couch Critic, I think, I don't want to put a pressure on you, mate.
not yet.
not yet, but work in progress, lads. So yeah, I mean, the membership is optional. It's all you get is emojis and a few badges. So Blue Clouds TV, big up to you, and thank you for becoming a member. I have somebody here in in the chat. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, my man. If you can introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background.
Just before you do that, I gotta bounce, buddy, fella. So I'm just gonna take off. I gotta go pick up my son. But it was great speaking to all you guys.
Thank you for
some great content. Thanks again, guys, for allowing me to be on here speaking. And I'm sure I'll be back sometime soon, man. But you guys take care of yourselves.
Thank you very much.
Up the Chelsea.
Up the Chelsea.
Big up to you, bro.
Thank you very much, Couch
Critic.
Thank you very much. Take care of yourself, man. Thank you. The guy left. The guy in the chat left. Listen,
no,
lads
we've got
in
to
the
respond
chat.
to our.
We will.
Mikhail's.
We will, Bobby. Just give me a second. Listen, people in the chat, you are able to jump onto the panel by clicking on the link in the pinned comment. Click on that, jump on, like, and subscribe to the stream. Before I start to give my response, I can hear Bobby is eager and passionate about what he wants to say to Mikhail, who hasn't been on the stream for quite some time, and he's come in throwing bombs and Molotov bottles and all kinds of stuff, hand grenades and whatnot. So let's give him a bit of our feedback. We'll start with Bobby. Bobby, let me hear it now.
I gotta say, Michaela, don't ever feel concerned to go on any platform, especially a platform like this that welcomes you to speak your mind. There's nothing but love for you here, bro.
Bobby, and I appreciate it more as well. Thank you for having me on and letting me say my piece.
Absolutely, nothing but love for you, bro. Sometimes you might say things not everybody agrees. I mean, goodness me, Boogeyman, it's a shame he's not here. He said some things. I'm thinking, crikey, does this guy even support Chelsea? But you know what? It's all love, So I personally think what you said is very, very pragmatic. I think there's a lot of sense behind it. I can't fully disagree with it at all. It just exposes the concerns that we have if the Haaland deal doesn't go through. Going for a second-tier striker leaves a bad taste in your mouth because it's just not where we should be. We have the opportunity to seize our legacy for the next 5 years just by making a big investment. It's just that straightforward. And if we fail to do that, as I started off on this stream, it just feels like snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, which is a mediocre circumstance to be in. So I understand where you're coming from. I can't say it's wrong, but if we're left in that dilemma, it'll be very disappointing.
100%. I agree with you. And the thing is, I suffer from some PTSD from windows of yesteryear, transfer windows of yesteryear. So I know it's not beyond the realm of possibility for us to be sitting on deadline day and wondering if we're going to sign anybody, right? We've been there before. And so while I was, blown out of the water with our transfer window last summer, like that was unprecedented what we did. I don't think that's the norm. That was the exception. So business as usual. I don't want it kicking in this summer where we come off a Champions League win and return to type. We need to build on it. 100%. I am agreeing with you. But what that means is that yes, we go for the best option in the market. But if that doesn't happen, what I'm panicking about is that we're going to go spend 100 million on a Lukaku, which is absolutely a waste of money in my opinion.
True.
But
very true.
People feel strongly about it, so it is what it is. My opinion is as valid as the next person's. But what I would like to see is us moving hopefully behind the scenes to secure somebody that's not 100 million or 80 million or 40 million, 30 million. Sorry, not 50 million and above, but somebody that's 40, 35, 30 million range that can come in and do a job at least. Because right now we don't even have that kind of striker in our lineup. Yes, Broja is coming through. Maybe he will be their answer. Maybe all of this is just me panicking. Maybe Broja will be able to step up and actually carry us through.
Tell you what, I do like the look of that, Broja. I like that boy.
I love. Yeah,
he looks an act.
Everything we look for in Tammy, he was showing in that match. And I don't know if that was a one-off. I haven't seen him play in Holland. I think he's been. I haven't seen him play there, so I'm looking forward to the next couple of games.
I think Sadwaki has watched him play in Holland. I think he rates him quite highly. Sadwaki rates him quite highly.
He does.
Yeah, no, and I've been told by an Albanian subscriber that it's Broha, not Borja. Broha, the J is silent. Broha, yeah. Armando Broha. So, yeah, no, I mean, I was calling him Borja until he told me. So, I think Armando Broha can definitely assist in getting them goals tally up the season, but I don't think we should rely on him. We definitely should give him more opportunities, but to give him the accountability to do it, it's a little bit hard, especially with us being the champions of Europe. That comes with a little bit more added pressure, and I think the fact that Giroud left, the fact that Tammy Abraham is looking like he's going to be leaving. Whichever way I look at it, I can't see past us not getting Haaland, because there's no reason not to get him. I can't see a reason not to get him, unless Chelsea don't make that bid, and I think we've already made that bid. Personally, I think we already made that bid, and I think all of this that's happening around Lukaku. We talked about it yesterday. It was yesterday or the day before. I really believe it's a smokescreen. I really believe it's journalists trying to muddy the waters when it comes to the Haaland deal. No, I hope so too.
Yep.
The reason being is it doesn't make any sense why the Haaland deal wouldn't go through, because Borussia Dortmund haven't said that they're going to refuse a bid of 130 or 150. And Chelsea haven't said that price is too much for Haaland. And if we look, let's be realistic here. If Man City are going to pay 100 million for Grealish, is Haaland not worth 150? I mean, seriously,
for sure.
I might be wrong, but
for sure.
I think it was yesterday or the day before's stream where Bobby, I think it was, that was saying that money, the price of Haaland is immaterial, because you amortize the cost over the number of years that you're going to sign him up for. Now, yes, the nuances are that his agent will probably agitate for a move starting the minute he lands in London, because he makes money every time his player moves. So I think that's where there's a pickle in the deal, where Chelsea is trying to get some assurances from Raiola about his role in his stay once he signs up. Maybe that's the problem here, because once we have spent 150 on him, I want to see him here for 5 years at least, right?
Michaela, sorry to interrupt you. I really am. I just want to say, as far as that is concerned, this is the last stop for the gravy train that Raiola has been on, because the rules change next season, and he's not going to be getting that direct commission that he's getting now. It'll have to be hidden, and when money's hidden, it's harder to come by. So he will want this deal to happen, just for his own financial benefit. And if the rumors are true that the funds being released for the purchase is coming from the club, and all the payoffs is coming out of Roman's pocket, yet again, there's no reason why we shouldn't go for this deal. And I'm so sorry to continue after cutting you short, but I remember back in the day, we did a deal for a striker called Pierluigi Casaraghi from Italy. He was a deadly guy in Italy, and he came to Chelsea and he struggled. He tried so hard that he got a career-ending injury. Now, I know we probably got the money back from insurance, and I can assure you Haaland's insurance is going to be well through the roof. But I think we shouldn't even blink and think about investing this money. It is an investment in the future.
There are moments when you have to break the mold of whatever you're looking at, whether it's wage structure or fees for agents.
Absolutely.
or this is one of those moments where you feel, and with the buyout clause kicking in next summer, I think, for Haaland, this is our window of opportunity to put down the money and secure this player for the next 5 years of at least. With the current generation of players, the investment Romans made last season, the clubs made last season, this is the only thing to do this summer. I 100% agree with it, but I'm also very cognizant of the fact that we could bottle this. We are capable of bottling this situation because it's just that big. The risks are high. While we may be one of the only clubs in the running with the kind of money that's being flaunted around, it's still a cumbersome deal. Dortmund don't want to sell. I like what Baggy was saying. Try to put the onus on the shareholders to pressure the club by putting that bid in. Let's put that, like today is what? Today is beginning of end of July, beginning of August, right? So make that bid so that we're not waiting for transfer deadline day to figure out whether we're getting Haaland or not. There is a coach at Cobham having training sessions already. Where's that player, the striker for him to build his team around, build his tactics around for next season? Give him that striker. Whether it's Haaland, I agree with Bobby that this is worth waiting for 100%, but maybe it's happening behind the scenes and we're just getting. I'm just tired of seeing Haaland news every day. But I need to see something happen. Either the club make a move and make a second bid and a third bid and preparing and what are the terminologies for the different phases of the bids that we have to go through? The prepping and the sending and the debating. So all of that needs to start. Right now it's too quiet. Either it's what everybody's saying, that it's already done and dusted and this is all posturing. But something tells me that it can't be that simple. There has to be a formal bid that's acknowledged by the club involved. That's acknowledged by the media.
Mikhail, I think we can learn from the two deals, or the two apparent deals that we have seen so far this window, in regards to Koundé and in regards to Marcus Bettinelli. Both of those deals, Bettinelli happened without us even knowing nothing until he put that shirt on. Then we found out. Koundé, as it came to the final stages of the deal, we knew about it, but apparently it's going a little bit pear-shaped right now. Hopefully, we can finalize it and the Koundé deal will get over the line. In regards to this comment here, I do believe that Man City signing Jack Grealish will have a positive effect on Chelsea in regards to their acquisitions in this window, because the onus is on Chelsea to chase Man City, because right now we are the champions of Europe, but they are the champions of the Premier League, and that's the title we want. That's the title we're chasing. So we're chasing them, and if they are building their squad with players like Grealish and others for those price tags, the onus is on Chelsea to chase. I know that DJ Sav, his internet connection isn't so great. So the fact that he's in, do you have something to add, or should I move over to Bobby?
No, bro, DJ? No. It's I'm good, bro. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Go on, what you saying? Yeah, big. I was gonna ask Bobby in regards to the situation with Chelsea today. Yeah.
Moving forward. I mean, this is to Bobby, Mikhail, and you, DJ. Yeah. Moving forward, could we have a transfer window like the ones Mikhail is dreading, like the ones he's got PTSD from? Because we've had those windows where we end up opening our eyes and we see drink water in front of us. It's like heart attack moment. Bakayoko. Barkley is like, what is that all about? What are these players? And then we're hearing, oh, Chelsea are out for a striker. And who is it? Andy Carroll. What? Listen, Dusan Vlahovic, whatever his name is, the guy literally scored them goals this season. Before the season, he wasn't doing nothing. Before the season,
Baggy.
He wasn't. What's
that player? You're being unfair to him. He's 21 years old. He's only had 2 professional seasons. One season he scored 6. The next season he scored 21. And this season he's already in one game, in one preseason game, he's gone and scored 7 goals. Not even trying hard.
Let me address.
I'm not saying he's all that. I'm just saying that for under 50 million, he's one of the best options out there.
He scored 7 goals in one game, did he say?
Yeah.
7 goals in one game. So those figures are skewed. Those figures are skewed because he got 7 goals in one game. Who was that game against? What was the context of that game?
Preseason game. It doesn't matter. Tammy had a preseason game. Tammy fluffed all his chances.
Oh, preseason. Was a preseason game?
It was a game last week, Baggy. What I'm trying to say is, I'm not going by one game or one season's number. What I'm saying is that's an option of a player that's under 50 million right now. He's probably under 40 million too if Marina goes in hard. But
Mikhail, I'm not gonna take that risk. I'm not gonna take that risk on a player who's only played 2 seasons. One season didn't do nothing. Last season, okay, breakout season. But this guy is coming to the Premier League. Look at his posture. I mean, I haven't seen him play. I've seen clips. I haven't seen a single 90 minutes game of his. So I can't tell you that he's bad or he's good. But what I'm looking at is his stats, and I'm looking at his physique. The guy is a target man. The way we play at Chelsea, I mean, unless you're looking at the Giroud and a player of his caliber, a player of his experience, I'm not really so sure this guy can handle our defenders in the Premier League. I have doubts about this guy. He might come in and he might be one of the best strikers, since, I don't know, Ronaldo and Messi and whatnot. But what I'm saying is we can't risk that. We can't miss that because he's not proven. Erling Haaland, on the other hand, he's doing it for a couple of seasons, and he's also internationally proven.
I think that's where the mistake is, that Vlahovic and Ings and Isaacs and Weghorst are not an alternative to Haaland. Haaland is the number 1 target. What I'm saying is that you need to line up one of these in case that deal doesn't happen, because I don't want this next coming season we enter with no striker again. We need a striker. Now, what you're saying is this guy is not the answer compared to a Haaland. I agree with you. Haaland is right now the sure shot deal. But if it doesn't work out, I don't want to be sitting here on September 1st after the window's closed with Tammy as our number 1 striker again, and basically sitting on the bench, warming the bench. Like, that's not a moving forward. The difference between last season, since if you take a step back, since Tuchel took over, that's not a moving forward. The difference between
Boogeyman, I'm getting feedback on your end. Boogeyman.
Since if you take a step back.
Go, Mikhail.
Yeah. I was hearing feedback too. Since Tuchel took over, we've been one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the Premier League as well. So if you extrapolate that to a full season, we'll be somewhere in the running for hopefully, the trophy, the Premier League itself. What's the difference? The difference is that we need to get points from the tough games, the scrappy games, the low blocks. How do you do that? This current lot has not been able to crack that problem. When we hit that low block, we're still struggling to get that match, those 3 points out of those games. Those are the draws, or those are the losses, or whatever you want to call it. The difference for winning a league across 38 games is that you have the team, the squad in place to get a result on those days as well, when you're going to end up giving up points. There were points in the season, even this season, where we could have consolidated or solidified top 4, and we dropped points. It was the same problem. We didn't have answers. So what I'm saying is that for those kind of games across a 38-game season, with multiple competitions and the fatigue across the season that players will have to endure, and the rotation that you need to have options in your squad. So if we don't get Haaland and we don't get anybody else either, then I'm sorry. Then basically we're saying that we're not going to be trying for or we've given up basically on making a strong move for the league. We will compete for it, but we will probably not end up where we want to be, because if you look over at Man United strengthening their squad, and you look at what Man City already have in place, and with the players that they're being linked with, they will give it a real go. Now, have we changed enough during the summer to actually match their intensity for the title? Time will tell. But I would hope that after winning a Champions League, we're able to improve our striking options this summer. And if we can't even do it this summer, then when? Because it's not going to be easier next summer when Haaland's available for 75 million euros for anybody to pluck him away. That's going to be a harder task. So
I want to, Mikhail, sorry to interrupt you. I'm not sure how much time Boogeyman has. Boogeyman.
Sorry, Boogeyman. Go ahead.
I want to give you a chance to jump in, Boogeyman.
Hello, everybody. Bobby.
Hello, Boogeyman.
And
Hey, Boogeyman.
Big up, Boogeyman. How you doing, bro? You all right?
Good. So at the beginning, been listening to Buggy when I was driving. Then I switched it. My wife was driving. Then
Blue Lounge.
I tried to get into the
Blue Lounge.
I tried to get into the stream, but it didn't work. It didn't work out. So I agree mostly with what everybody's here are saying. But when people say when we have Haaland, we become a big team. I would like someone to define what is a big team. Is Manchester City a big team? Like, I mean, they won the Premier League. They've been at semi-final of the Champions League 2 or 3 times in the past 5 years, and they haven't won it. And they won a FA Cup or Carabao Cup. And so, is that what defines a big team? But if that's what defines a big team, I don't mind not have Haaland, to be honest with you, and because for me, with the amount of money we're going to be spending on Haaland, are we going to be able to dominate Europe that we really want to? I don't think we can. For some reason, I feel like we're making too much out of Haaland than he really is. If we find a striker that can put the chances away, why not?
Boogeyman, it's not Haaland. It's not Haaland. It's Chelsea. It's Chelsea.
No, I understand that.
Chelsea have a jigsaw puzzle. We're missing one piece right now.
Exactly.
And he's that piece. So he completes the team. Right now, Chelsea are good in every single area, but they are not able to convert their chances. And we saw that even in the preseason. Okay, so we are creating chances, but we're not able to convert. And this is what Haaland will be coming in to do. Now, I personally wouldn't be against an alternative to Haaland if we can have someone that can guarantee those goals. I mean, I'll give you an example. I would be more happy to see Lewandowski at Chelsea than Lukaku. Even though Lewandowski is older, I wouldn't mind paying £50 million, 60 million. I'd pay £70 million. I'll bring him in 2 seasons, but I know those 2 seasons, the man is gonna be banging them goals in because I know Chelsea will be creating those chances for him. Lewandowski coming in to play for Arsenal wouldn't be successful. Playing for Chelsea, he will be successful because Chelsea create more chances. The strikers that Arsenal have some very good strikers, but they don't have the chances to convert. Chelsea, we have the chances to convert, but we don't have no one to convert them for us.
Yeah,
that is why. That's the thing. We're talking about greatness. I want to address the greatness aspect. What makes a team great? What makes a team great? 2 things, in my opinion. 2 things. One is their results on the pitch, and their fans off the pitch. For me, anyone else can have their own perception of greatness. But if you have a massive fan base like Chelsea do have, and results on the pitch that are of a high caliber like Chelsea do have, that makes you great. That's why I think we have a great team. Will Erling Haaland come into Chelsea or not come into Chelsea make us any more or any less great? No. Erling Haaland will not make Chelsea great or bring down the level of our greatness. Could Erling Haaland contribute to our greatness? He can. But he's not the reason for or against our greatness. That's how I see it. So I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I just wanted address those points, mate.
Blue Lounge. I understand what you said, and I actually agree with you. I agreed with you in previous 10 days or previous 2 months. Until now, when I get really, really over talking about Haaland. So then I'm start looking into this whole situation in other perspective. I'm thinking, if Chelsea has not beat anything, or if Chelsea is still doing negotiation in the dark, or whatever you want to say, for some reason, if they're not putting the money down, it's because someone in office put the advantage and the disadvantage and just compare them and say, hey, listen, we cannot just go with 150 million pounds for this guy. Because I don't understand, why can't they just put a bid on the table? Why not? So it's for some reason something in that equation is not helping them to solve this. They find a straight solution. So that's what they keep holding up. We panelists here, we just don't know what it is. We can talk because we just want Haaland in our team. So we can say all those things, but something somewhere is holding the entire deal up. So that's what I'm thinking. Signing Haaland for £100 million is making Chelsea a world-class team. Yeah. So what is a world-class team? Is Manchester City a world-class team right now? Yeah, sometimes they play semi-final of Champions League. Yeah, but we won it last time. Most of the time they will play most final. They've been chasing, they're always in top four. But I think with the team we have right now, we can still achieve that, be in top four and be a semi-final of Champions League. Haaland will make us something different. Yeah, I'm not lying about it, but I just don't think. I think we, as sitting here, we should probably open our mind into some in other direction, trying to see why this deal is not been finished. Why Abramovic is not putting the entire money. Why he's not allowing Marina just to get whatever Dortmund wants. Like even Jan keeps saying, they're waiting for a crazy deal, a crazy fee on the table. Is that maybe Chelsea doesn't want to be pushed over? Like why they ask for 150? Why do we put 150? We're not going to let those people push us over. But something somewhere is holding up this deal. What is it exactly? Why? Because when you heard Bobby talking, Bobby pretty much challenged the entire Chelsea greatness. If we have ambition, if we want to go to the next step, we need Haaland. If we don't sign Haaland right now, for someone like Bobby, is a defeat for the entire Chelsea administration, of the entire Chelsea club. It's a big defeat. We cannot be talking about the same person, the only target we have the entire transfer window, and not sign him. Like when you listen to Bobby, that's his take on the entire thing. So if someone like a Bobby,
I think Bobby can give us his take himself. I don't want to be putting words in his
mouth. Sorry. But my point, the reason why I say all those is I kind of agree with Bobby, but at this point I reached the point I just don't think Haaland is coming. I think something somewhere is too much of negative for Chelsea to make the bid. That's what I'm saying. So I let Bobby, if I say something that Bobby does not agree with, sorry about that, but I let Bobby talk about it. Yeah. So for me, there's something somewhere that we need to analyze and find and say, okay, that might be a reason why nothing is not been done, or that may be a reason why Chelsea is still holding up about all those deals. So that's my point.
All right, Bobby, do you want to respond?
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? I know Boogeyman. You know, he's part of the family on this platform, so it's all good. But yeah, he kind of. I know he sort of paraphrased me a lot, but it is the gauntlet thrown down to the Chelsea board. Yes, nobody knows what's going on. The bid could have been done, accepted already. We don't know. We can't really take a very strong position either way. You can't say it's not happening. I think that's very impractical because there's every possibility that it can still happen. So as long as that possibility exists, it'll be wrong to say it doesn't happen. And it just shows a bit of defeatism. You can't just give up on anything like that. The Chelsea, as much as Michaela referred to earlier, that they have form to traumatize you in the recent past in the transfer market, they can also surprise you. They have form for that as well. Will it happen? It's left to be seen. Should it happen? Absolutely. 100%. The challenge is there. Will they take it up? That's the big question. I don't know. What is the reason for them not making the bid right now? I don't think I care. I don't think it's important. I think right now it's important that they make the bid. We'll ask that question if, come the end of the transfer window, that bid has not been made. There is value to what Michaela said about this Mikhailovic player. Yelovic, I've forgotten his surname, the guy we were just talking about now.
Vlahovic.
Now, I'm not saying too much about this guy because I don't know too much about the guy. But there is value in what Michael is saying because, listen, I never believe in doing the same thing and looking for a different result. And if this guy is available, there's some serious consideration as to whether to bring him on and offload Tammy. If the money you get from Tammy will pay for him anyway. And if his dividends are higher than Tammy's, well, it's a win-win situation because without Haaland, we'll be stuck with Tammy anyway.
Yes,
So,
that's my point, Bobby. Thank you for making my point as well.
There is value in that. But then, on the flip side of the coin, Tammy does have Premier League experience and this guy doesn't. So it's a bit of a gamble. But,
it's always a gamble.
Yeah, exactly. If we don't get Haaland, I believe we have to do something to change things in terms of our goal conversion rate, which is the crux of the matter. We might surprise ourselves, but in life, it's not good to base your success on hope. We hope this player does this, or we hope this happens, and we hope this happens. Whereas with Haaland, it's not hope, it's a probability, and a high probability that our goal conversion rate will staggeringly improve.
Just to add to that, if we look at the Euros and the Chelsea players in the Euros, if we look at our attacking players that made appearances for their national teams, we didn't see much different from what we seen in the season before. So to expect them to suddenly show up next season in a month or so, or 2 weeks or whatever we have left, and suddenly start scoring for fun, I think is probably a bit hopeful. They
To
will
be
be
fair,
close.
Havertz didn't do badly. He put away a couple.
Yeah, which is fine. What I'm saying is they're not going to turn into prime Messi either, right? It's going to be there or thereabouts. Wherever they were last season, we're hoping for a percentage improvement from that, maybe 10, 20%, 25% goal scoring improvement for all of them individually. But nobody's going to come step up and score 25, 30 goals for us next season. And that's the point that if we look at it from the iterative improvement point of view from last season's squad, where were we weak? And if we can't have Haaland, we need to still make sure that we have some sort of improvement in that scoring area to have a better chance. At least we're trying. If we just go at it again with the same squad, then I have to agree with you, Bobby, that we're trying the same thing, expecting different results.
I want to bring in Go Deep. He joined the stream about 10 minutes ago and he hasn't had a chance to jump in. So, Go Deep, how are you and what's your thoughts?
Hi, everyone. How are you guys doing?
Hey, Go Deep.
We're doing good.
Hey, Go Deep.
Hello?
Yeah. So, I had been listening to the stream, and everything is all a huge chaos at the moment, I feel. Haaland deal is something we all want to happen, and if that happens, it will take Chelsea to next level. We all are hoping for that. We all believe in that. But I feel beside that, we can look for options like Korea. the player who striker plays for Lazio. He's a great striker. We can, if we get him for a very budgeting price, that would be a good deal for us. So no player coming in and we just expect them that he will start scoring. That's just a probability, as Bobby said, that there is a probability that he might start giving us numbers. But him coming to Premier League because Premier League is a different game altogether. It takes a lot of time from huge players to settle in. So let's see
I agree with
how it goes.
Goody. By that argument, we should look within the league then, and Danny Ings is one of those strikers that for decent valuation, and we're not spending too much money, can come in and
Exactly.
maybe put in more than 6
Why?
goals over the
Yeah.
course of the season.
Why? I guess people are not focusing on Danny Ings because of his age. I guess he is a good
Yeah,
striker, no
it's
doubt.
going to be a stopgap. We all understand that, right? But will it be? Are we trying to improve on last season? Is the question, and my answer would be
Yeah.
probably yes.
Yes, I'm not saying that he is not a great striker. He's a good striker, but people are thinking that when you're buying a player, you are looking for 2, 3 years. In that way, I was okay with. I was like finding it very amazing that if we were able to get Lewandowski for 50 millions.
Love it.
I have heard
I love it.
rumors that Lewandowski was also available,
I
but
think
I guess
Lewandowski is
Yeah, but
elite for sure.
can I add something, though? Any
yeah.
striker that we buy this window, like this window, expecting that Haaland didn't show up, that we didn't manage to get through. So they all know that next season Chelsea is going again after Haaland. Even if the concurrent, there will be more challenge. There's other team that will be interested in Haaland next season. So do you think a striker will sign for Chelsea this season, knowing that next season we're going after Haaland again, and there's a chance that Haaland may come? It just don't. I don't
So
see.
Do you really
what?
see Haaland coming to Chelsea next season when he has the flexibility of going to Real Madrid with a massive contract, or to
And
Man City
also
with a massive contract?
Yeah, but the
adding
chance.
on to that,
Sorry.
yeah,
Yeah,
adding
go
on
ahead.
to that, yeah, Man City is always like trying to win Champions League. What if they don't win this season, and they also become one of the contenders next season? If they become contenders to buy Haaland, it will then it will be very difficult for other clubs.
Yeah, I understand.
I think Man City, if Man City land their target striker this season of Harry Kane, I think we can rule them out of the Haaland discussion next season. But
Yeah, no. Why I'm saying this that
sorry,
by
Gadip. Sorry, Gadip. The crucial aspect in regards to next season is the fact that we would have to be competing with a number of clubs for Haaland rather than this season where we're not competing. You see,
exactly.
next season, the decision to sign, it's not Dortmund's decision anymore. It's Haaland's decision and his camp, Mino Raiola, his father. This will mean whoever pays them more money, the camp, will get Haaland. Who's going to give
Yeah.
Haaland a bigger contract? Who's going to pay? You see, next season, if reports are correct, Mino Raiola can only get 10%. 10% of the price, which is 75 or 80 million euros. 10% of that. That being said, he will also be looking to get monies from back channels, because that's what Mino Raiola does. He looks after himself financially. Now, when I say back channels, I'm not implying illegal channels, but I'm implying other means. Sponsorships, advertising, some other ways around it where he can legally get more money, and that's what he's been doing.
What you
But
say? Sorry.
this season, the only people who are able to bid the crazy amount of money that Dortmund want is Chelsea.
Yeah.
So if we don't,
Exactly.
if we don't get Haaland
I
this season, we're not getting Haaland. What I'm saying is, if we
yeah.
don't get Haaland
I
this season, we're not getting him. We're not getting him. That's it.
I agree with you, Qasim, because I feel that on Chelsea part, haven't they made enough attempt? I feel Chelsea are doing a lot to get Haaland this year, and they are pushing themselves to the core that they get Haaland this year. But I guess Dortmund's way of doing business is something different. and they are something that they are checking how far a club can go for Haaland this year and still not making any giving any positivity. So because same thing I heard about Sancho last year. Manchester was trying to pay. They were giving different offers. They were ready to give players, but they still did not give them Sancho. They gave him this year. So they tried to push Manchester United also to an extent, but still they didn't give him. They tried in January window also, still they couldn't get him. And that's the same thing happening with Chelsea this time, I feel. They are pushing them to the
Yeah.
limits and still not accepting anything.
Good. I understand the fact that it will be difficult, even impossible, but there is a chance that Chelsea can get Haaland next season. There's still a slight change. I understand it's complicated. It will be more complicated than this year. But my question is, would you, as a striker that want to thrive in the Premier League or want to have a proper career, would you sign for Chelsea this season, knowing that there is a slim chance next season Haaland will come into the same team? I just don't think so. That's my only question.
But that's what I'm saying to you. It's not going to happen next season.
How do you know? Nobody's sure 100%.
No, there is no chance. There's no chance in hell that if we don't sign Haaland this season, we'll be able to get him next season. Because if we couldn't get him this season,
Competition would increase.
Exactly. Next season, Erling Haaland
If
four dice. I mean, unless you're Real Madrid, which we know he wants to go to, all the other teams, throw a dice, and whatever number comes up, because next season it's gonna be up in the air.
Okay.
Who's gonna pay him the most money this season? You see, that's what I'm saying. If you're a striker, to answer your question, Boogeyman, if you're a striker, and Chelsea come after you this season, then you are going to be a stopgap possibly, or a long-term prospect, and it's really in your hands, because if you come to Chelsea this season, whoever you are, I'm not going to name anyone, whoever you are, you come to Chelsea this season and you score 25, 20, 18 goals, score 18, you know what, score 10 goals. All right, score 10 goals this season, you'll be around next season, and you have a role to play. Okay? And if you're able to score 19, 18, 20 goals this season, you will be a long-term employee of Chelsea Football Club, because Chelsea do reward people who contribute well. Generally, if you contribute well on that football pitch, Chelsea will back you up. Okay, now stopgap, long-term prospect. It depends on who we're bringing in, the age, the ability, the results that we're going to see. But I'm reading the comments in the chat. And by the way, guys in the chat, I'm reading your discussion. Great discussion. I agree with some of you. I disagree with some of you, but it's a great discussion. And if you haven't subscribed, I just want to tell you, I'm 28 subscribers away from reaching 7,000 subscribers. 28. So if you haven't subscribed, you will be the one that makes that difference. So I'm asking you, if you haven't subscribed, to please consider subscribing. Did I say Baggy TV? I meant Blue Lounge. If you haven't, even I'm messing up a little bit. So if you haven't subscribed to the Blue Lounge, lads, please do it and help me reach that 7,000 subscriber milestone. I'd really appreciate it. Where we are today in regards to the striker situation is very, very fluid. Very fluid. The Lukaku story is having a what's the word here? A shadow over the Erling Haaland situation. A dark shadow over the Erling Haaland situation.
True.
But
yeah.
don't give up, lads. Don't give up, because this situation, the Erling Haaland story, and I can see Mikhail just ended up going home. Brilliant. Really quick change. I like it. The Erling Haaland situation, lads, it could go either way.
Yeah.
Anyone who tells you they know what's happening, take it with a pinch of salt, because it really is a tight-lipped situation. is even more tight-lipped than any other transfer deal that I've come across. From me following football this whole time. I've never seen something like this in my life before. So just take everything with a pinch of salt. Lads, we're going to be talking for another 10 minutes. So when you have the opportunity, try to not to go into too much detail because we've got 10 more minutes. I'm going to end the stream at 2 hours and 30 minutes. So we're 2 hours and 20 minutes right now. Gerdy, you were about to say something, mate?
Yeah, I was saying that if they want to sign Haaland and that's the prime focus, let's go beyond the limits and pay 200 mil or anything and get him. Get this done. Let's not wait for more, and let's try to offer what best you can offer, and let's see what Dortmund says. If still it's getting not getting a good response, then move your attention away. There is no point wasting your time. We are a big club. We can get many good players. We have wonderful coach. We can make small players a huge player. We have all that capability. Just offer the max what you can, and if it looks like happening, do it, or else just move away. Let him go anywhere next season, and it doesn't assure anything that he will play good in every league, because Bundesliga, it's just ruled by Dortmund and Bayern over the years, and you never know playing in Premier League how good he would be. So let's just try your best and then leave it.
Yep. Bobby, you've been quiet, mate. What's your thoughts? Actually, you know what? I'm going to give you each 2 minutes as your closing argument. And what your point of view is in regards to this. The people in the chat, they want to hear from you. They want to know your feelings and your understanding in respect to Erling Haaland and the striker situation. So give me a 2-minute perspective in a nutshell where we are as far as you're concerned. And Alan, listen to this man. Appreciate you. I'll start with Bobby. Bobby, give me your final thoughts on this whole situation, mate. You've got 2 minutes.
Yeah, my final thoughts. Well, I've made my thoughts very clear all along in the months of all this conversation about Haaland right to this point. I think the challenge is set. The gauntlet has been dropped for Chelsea Football Club to pick up and make that bid. I don't know what the hold-up is. I'm not sure it's relevant. I think the club has to demonstrate a willingness publicly to pay the money for this guy. And as Baggy alluded to earlier, that would not only get Dortmund thinking, but it will start to agitate their shareholders, because that's a lot of money. If they say no, then whatever the club does next, not many people would blame them. But if they don't even try, it's a bit of a problem. It looks defeatist, it looks mediocre, and there'll be frustration in the Chelsea fan base. There's still time, and I hope and I believe we're going to go for this guy because he's the only option.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you for them thoughts. Boogeyman, your final thoughts on this on the subject?
Hey, thanks, man. The preseason has already started. I think Chelsea has done a lot of deals the last day of the transfer window, but I still think with Tuchel, I feel like there has to be some demand that Haaland come earlier so he can at least train with the group. And the fact that Haaland is not even there yet, and the fact that we haven't heard any bid from Chelsea. Saying that, I'm just talking about the Jan saying last time that they're just waiting for Chelsea to show something. And even the panel of ESPN was telling them. So Chelsea has not bid anything at all. It's like we have to wait for the next 8 to 10 days. And if nothing comes, and then we know Haaland will stay at Dortmund. Right now, Oh God, that's my daughter. Sorry. Right now, Haaland is staying at Dortmund as things look. But if some crazy bid come in, that's when things will change. So when I'm reading through those lines, I'm thinking Chelsea has not officially bid anything yet. So a moment, bitte. So Chelsea has not officially bid anything yet, and that worries me a lot because I think they will try to get Haaland at least in before preseason starts. Preseason has already started. So me, I'm completely pessimist. I understand other people thinking there's something going to happen. For me, we done when it comes to Haaland transfer. And my second position when it comes to that, the whole thing is we're not going to sign any striker. Even that, if Haaland does not come, I don't think we're getting any striker because I don't see any good striker in the right man coming to Chelsea right now and thinking next season there is a 5 or even 2 or even 1% of chance that Haaland may be coming to Chelsea next season. So if we get someone this season, it will be a deadwood. How do we get rid of him next season? So I don't think we're getting anybody. So and when it comes to that striker position, I think this season we're just going to rely on Harvard, Tammy Abraham if he's not gone, on Borja. That's the situation, and I just decided to believe that to leave it to just rest. Guys, that's my view, and I need to mute the micro because my daughter is going crazy.
No worries, no worries, no worries. She has a fan. She has a fan. Jack Zeldin is a big fan of your daughters. Go deep. I'm going to give you the chance now, and then we'll go and finish off with Mikhail. So, what's your final thoughts, mate?
Yes, as I said that Chelsea should try to give the best, and just one more attempt, one huge attempt, what even Dortmund is not expecting, and look for the results. If they are okay, that's it. I believe that uh, it's fine to go for Haaland, and if we get him, it would be good. But we can still find strikers who can be helpful, and I have seen that strikers like Ollie Watkins and all, they have done really good in Premier League without having any experience, and they have shown that we should actually always learn from the smaller clubs how they are managing their clubs. They look for their scout, their the way they search for player. That's very impressive to me. They go beyond. They pick players from series like Algerian series and series many different countries, and they pick such good players. So we might get a good striker, and it's just give the best attempt once for Haaland. That's it.
Fair point. Mikhail, what's your stance? Where do you see us towards the end of this window? Do you think we are going to get the play we all want, or is it going to be problematic?
As I was saying earlier, and I tend to agree with a lot of what Gurdeep was saying there. If we need to chase Haaland, we need to chase Haaland, but have some sort of self-respect as well. We are Chelsea Football Club. No one player is bigger than the club. If we can't get Haaland, we should have other plans in place. Like Gurdeep was saying, there are strikers out there that can do the job. Other teams have not all teams in the world have Haaland playing for them, or Lewandowski playing for them, so they get by too. So it's about, and Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea are the biggest example right now that we can speak of. We were a write-off in January, and we're the champions of Europe come May or June. So I think we need to, as a club, put our best foot forward, both as fans and as the board, and make sure that whatever we do between now and the end of the transfer window, we set the manager up stronger than he was before the window opened. Give him something that strengthens his hands, that gives him better cards to play with to make that title run next season. And why not give the Champions League another go? Why not? I'm excited to see us
go deep in the Champions League one more time this coming season. So how is that going to happen? It's not going to happen by putting all our eggs in the Haaland basket either. It's going to be about, maybe all of this has to happen behind closed doors, and we are all just reading too much into the situation. Maybe Haaland is done and dusted, and this is all just part of the process. But if it's not, let's make sure that as a club we have some alternatives in mind, and we have a strong close to the window and a good start to the season. And that's where I'm at mentally. I'm not too much into this hyping of any one player. We'll make do with whoever we get, as long as it's there's some thought put into what we're doing, what kind of player we're bringing in. Of course, the manager has to be on board. It has to suit their system of play, just like the Koundé conversation. I love Zuma, but if we bring in an alternative that strengthens Thomas Tuchel's hand tactically, then I'm all for it. I'm willing to listen to that. So similarly, if we can get Haaland, I'm sure there's other strikers in the world that we can try getting in the 1 month that the window is still going to be open. There's a lot of time to go get a Lewandowski if we're not getting a Haaland. So hopefully there's some breakthrough in the Haaland deal, and we hear something positive. But I'm almost equally eager to hear anything at all. I don't care, because we need to move past it if we must. I don't want us waiting till the last day of the window, and then at that point, it's panic stations as usual. So that's where I'm at. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping for the best, and at the same time, trying to remain a realist.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with everything you just said there, man. We need to resolve this dilemma within the next week. 10 days max, because if we are not going to get this striker, then we need to have time to have some alternatives and some backups in place. And I don't want to see it happening on the last week of the window, or the last day, or the last few hours of the window, because we know we will mess it up and we will have a problem. We will have a signing that we will be struggling for the next few years to get rid of, like we have with Kepa and others. We don't want that. We don't want that. I believe in my club. I believe in my board. I believe in Marina, and I believe that we have the appeal to bring in a good target, a good transfer target in regards to the striker. And we are talking about Lukaku, Lewandowski, and Haaland, but there might be another player that is being looked at by Chelsea, and we're not just aware of right now. And as with Koundé, we're talking about every defender under the sun, but Koundé was mentioned briefly a couple of months ago, and then he's here, or he will be here very soon. So let's keep our faith in our club, in our squad, because I don't want to see us going into the season negative. This season coming, lads, we have that title. We have that trophy. Every time we step out on that pitch, we are the champions of Europe stepping out on that pitch. Every match we're playing this season.
Preach.
Not at the bridge, on the pitch. Every pitch we're going to be playing on, wherever it is, in England or in Europe, wherever we're going to be playing, we are the champions of Europe this season.
Preach.
All right. What?
No, I said preach. That's
Preach. Yeah, I am going to preach. Listen, give me a minute. I'm closing my stream. I got to give him some motivation, so they'll come back for the next stream. It's marketing, lads. You didn't hear that, yeah? I'm not marketing. No. For real. Listen, lads. I'm telling it to you as I see it and as I feel it. I'm happy. I'm proud. This season coming. I can't wait. I can't wait to see my team on that pitch. I really can't wait. Now, there is something that Mikhail touched upon which does hit close to home for me. And he said, we want to be stronger this season than we were last season. And right now, the way I see it, we're a little bit weaker because we've sold Giroud and Tammy is, borderline leaving. And for me, that makes us weaker when it comes to attack. And that is why I'm so eager on this Haaland deal, because I want us to cover that shortfall. Because I know my team is a great team. My goalkeeper is one of the best. My defense, one of the best. My midfield, amazing. My attack, fantastic. Just that one piece of the jigsaw, the finisher. And that's what I want to see us get this season.
You preach, man.
Boogie, man, I'm going to block you, man. Seriously. Let me finish, man. You're disturbing my flow. Boogie, man. So, moving forwards, be positive, lads. This deal will happen. If it's not Haaland, it's someone else. We will have this piece covered. And lads, next time I'm gonna block Boogeyman so he doesn't disturb me when I'm preaching. So
preach. We just say preach, man. That's no bite. Hey, what you said is so true. And the thing is, I'm just worried that just a few group of the fan may be going to the next season. If nothing is done, we don't get any transfer business done going to this next season negative. Like you touch on it, there's no chance we should be going to the next season negative. We have the best team. We have one of the most promising young talent in Europe right now sitting in our team, Havertz and Mount. We don't know what's going to happen next season. They might just blow up and we just be like, oh, okay. So there's no reason to be too pessimistic going to this next season if we don't do any business. But if we do Haaland, we know what we're getting. We just have someone said we win the Euro lotteries. Like it's just that's what we need to complete our team, like you already said. But let's just hope or wish that there's no fan that will go to the next season negative with negative intention because we don't have any business done this transfer window. That's all I'm wishing. Like you just stay. That's why I put myself in that position, believing that nobody's coming, nobody's going out anymore, and I'm happy that way. That's how I put myself in my mind. I have that set up in mind now, so I can be happy. So, but thanks for today's streaming.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you all for coming along. For those of you who joined the panel, appreciate you. For those of you in the chat, can't get enough of you. Seriously, I enjoy reading them debates in the chat. I know Sadwaki can hold his own, but some of these discussions are pretty good. And keep it up, lads. Keep it up because by commenting in the chat, by coming onto this panel, your views are getting heard. And it's only good for our fan base to get a different perspective from different points of view. So appreciate you all. Thank you all for being here. I'm just going to cue my outro. Have a great one, lads, and I'll catch you in my next one. Take care. Peace out.
Thanks, Mo.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Maggie.